from gaining access to school grounds and gathering information about students, defying the state's anti-sanctuary law.
Now, those kinds of sanctuary policies are bad in any context, and they are especially troubling if they're in schools. Schools across the country have sometimes been infiltrated by criminal, illegal aliens.
A lawsuit was filed in Marion County on Thursday. Rakita said earlier this year an illegal immigrant father voluntarily decided to self-deport and asked for his child to come with him, but IPS didn't cooperate with ICE, refusing to hand the student over. IPS has since responded to the lawsuit, calling it silly litigation, adding that they're deeply offended by the language used by the Attorney General when describing some students and families. A woman is dead after being shot on Indy's east side late Thursday night. It happened around 11 p.m. IMPD said the woman shot was taken to a hospital where she later died. Also on Thursday, a person wanted for murder is shot by Fishers police on Indy's northeast side. Jake McDaniel reports.
It happened near East 91st Street and Masters Road just north of Castleton. State Police Sergeant John Perrine says the suspect's car crashed through a fence onto a golf course property.
The suspect did fire shots. He was armed. We have recovered a firearm from his vehicle. We've also recovered shell casings in and around his vehicle that we believe came from his gun.
He says no officers were hurt in the planned operation by Fishers police, but a cop car was damaged from the shooting. The suspect was taken to a hospital. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price of gas in Indiana today, $3.08 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's the average today here in Indianapolis. Some college hoops for you tonight. The number one ranked Purdue Boilermakers are in action against Oakland. Sharpshooter Fletcher Lawyer says these early games in the season let them test their aggressiveness.
Yeah, I feel like everybody feels that way. I think we know the talent we have, we know the work we put in, so it's taking what's given to you. Obviously, don't want to shoot tough ones, but we all trust each other because we all put in a lot of work. So.
Notre Dame also has Detroit Mercy tonight. IU basketball will be at Marquette Sunday, and the Pacers are in Denver. They'll battle the Nuggets tomorrow night. Checking traffic this morning, Dominic Fortini is here.
I got the right lane blocked with an overturned semi southbound 65 at West Street. The exit ramp to West also closed because of the accident along the main line. Delays thinning out, but still slow back at 21st. And keep in mind this weekend, you've got thoroughfares from downtown Indy to the Broad Ripple Cultural District closed. What about Saturday morning for the Monumental Marathon? Drivers can expect closures to begin early in the morning, last through mid-afternoon. Some streets include Meridian, Pennsylvania. You've got 38th at Fall Creek Parkway North. You're going to see a number of closures, as well as an increase in pedestrian traffic in the area as well. Use plenty of caution traveling tomorrow. Traffic is sponsored by onbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Dominic Fortini with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Scattered morning showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, breezy at times. We'll see partial clearing this afternoon, mild, a high of 66. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 41. I'm WISH TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
The people are telling the politicians what they want, or don't want in this case.
Right.
And for some reason, they refuse to listen.
They just plow straight ahead.
This is a fascinating new poll. By the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Another poll has come out on redistricting in Indiana. And it says basically the exact same thing that every other public poll that has been released on this has shown. And this poll is fascinating because of how weighted it was to the Republicans. And even with a heavily weighted Republican poll, which largely reflects, I think, the makeup of our state, and we'll get to that in a second, overwhelmingly people are against redistricting in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, opposition is stronger than support. 51% of voters oppose early redistricting. 45% are strongly opposed, with only 39% in support. The most interesting thing to me in this entire poll was that 63% of voters are following redistricting news very closely, with Democrats being more engaged than Republicans.
Yeah, and the stat that's interesting in this, and when I kind of look at these polls, what you look at is the strong, right? Because if people are flimsy, it's like, well, okay, we could do this, get away with it, blah, blah, blah. But 45%, you said, are strongly opposed to compared to 23% who are strongly in support, which means the motivation of people is clearly on the side of being against, people who would be motivated by the action. Sometimes you can do things and it's like, well, I feel this way, but it's not something that's really going to trigger me to act one way or another. In this case, you've got people who, by a 2-to-1 margin, feel with a great level of intensity in the anti-camp versus the pro-camp, and yet the Republicans, primarily Mike Braun, will not let it go.
And it's interesting you bring that up because, Rob, in my throughout my career, I've done some polling. Most of the time it's music-based, but you're right. What you look at is the very polar opinions. Because if you're in the middle, you're just kind of whatever.
Right.
But it's the ones that are in the end, strongly opposed, strongly in favor. That's the one that you pay attention to because those are the people that really have strong opinions and are motivated by it.
Yeah, and then they went into this, by the way, it was Bellwether Research. It's a well-known polling firm. The pollster was Christine Matthews. That is not a name that probably means a lot to most people, but that is another known pollster in the state of Indiana. So, these are known. Now, by the way, it was done for the Indiana Conservation Voters Group. But again, I come back to the weighting of the polling. That's what I always kind of look at. Sometimes you'll get polls where the numbers are skewed. It's 49% Republican, 35% Democrat, 16 listed as independent. And that, I think, mostly mirrors the makeup of our state. If you look at our voting results, right? It's 54, 55%. Voting Republican in a lot of races. You've got kind of that 35 to 40% voting Democrat. So in terms of the makeup, it's pretty accurate in terms you won't say, well, they just went with, 45% of the people were Democrats. No, it's a pretty fair makeup of the voting results in the state of Indiana. Now, they also asked about the political leaders in the state, and I thought that the results of this give credence to the rest of what else they're saying about redistricting, because if you gave me a poll that said, well, people are overwhelmingly against redistricting, but they've also got Donald Trump at minus 20 favorability. Well, then that's a skewed sample. But they came out with a 50% favorable on Donald Trump, 45% unfavorable, and I think that's probably pretty spot on in the state.
It's interesting that this poll was done after Governor Braun's special session announcement. So this is with, wheels in motion to make this happen. And they asked, how would this affect you voting for someone in the future, whether you're opposed or in favor of redistricting? And at the ballot box, 43% said they would be less likely to vote for a legislator who supports redistricting.
Yeah, so they asked about some of these other politicians, and this is super interesting. Braun, God, this guy sucks, and everybody knows it. 32% favorable, 50% unfavorable, and that pretty much is right in line with what we saw with those other polls that came out. There were two that came out on the same day a couple of weeks ago, and that was in the ballpark. And then they did his little assistant lackey, Micah Beckwith, and Beckwith was at 16% favorable, 32% unfavorable. So basically twice as many people don't like the guy as do. And again, I look at this and I say that's probably pretty spot on where we're at in the state of Indiana, where you have guys like Vance and Trump at plus favorable ratings, in the case of Vance, 50% favorable, 42% unfavorable. So it gives a lot of credence to what they're talking about with redistricting when they're right in the ballpark on these politicians.
Yep, so 26% are unsure, despite 90% viewing Trump favorable. Among GOP voters, 26% are still saying, yeah, I don't know about this.
And then it comes back to, and by the way, WTHR also has results on, like many media outlets in the city covered this poll that came out. You pick your favorite one. They probably did something about the poll. As we said, 51% say the state is on the wrong track. That's compared to 27% saying it's on the right track. Now, this should be a wake-up call to the Democrats, to the thing that we've been saying, which is, and I'll get to the next part of this poll, which they should be absolutely just hammering home. If you can just nominate normal people who talk about normal things with reasonable solutions, you got a good chance to win. Now, that's a huge ask for the Democrats because they nominate insane people who talk about stuff that doesn't resonate with the populace, and it forces people into voting Republican. But when you've got 51% of the state saying that the state is on the wrong track, that's a do-drop-in invitation, because then, inside of this poll, 72% of the people said that they would prefer lawmakers spend this session focusing on property taxes or public safety instead of redistricting, or also energy costs. So the three big ones were energy costs, property taxes, and safety.
Sure.
And we've been saying that for how long?
This whole time.
This is why people are outraged. This is a major reason people don't want redistricting, is they look at this and go, my property taxes are out of control. You guys promised to fix it. You passed a bill everyone hates. My utility bills are doubling or tripling. You're not doing anything to stop it. We just found out, Duke's coming back for this massive rate increase that's basically been approved. These lawmakers are telling the constituents on things that actually matter, which is the affordability of living, which we just saw in the exit polling of the Virginia, New Jersey, California elections. That was the number one issue for people, is the affordability of living, and they're not doing anything about that.
No, it's the kitchen table issues that resonate with voters, not redistricting. And there's plenty of argument there that says, hey, lawmakers, focus on everyday concerns and you'll win.
But they won't do that.
No.
And that angers people. But then it comes back to the Democrats' inability to nominate people not that can connect. They can't even get people that the average person will consider. They're so crazy. And so if you're that grandma that runs the Democrat Party now, what's her face, that has no Karen, they have a literal Karen running the Democrat Party, you got to take the ruler out and start smacking some hands and going, look at this. It's right there to be had. It's right there for us to take. People hate these Republicans. They hate the job they're doing, but we are a non-starter. A bunch of our candidates are total non-starters with them, to the point they feel like they got to vote for people they don't like.
Yep.
Okay. So we had a big victory yesterday on this program. Well, it was really a victory for transparency. And it was our audience that came through. And so we want to pat you on the back and we'll take a little show victory lap when we come back. How about that?
It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Holy cow! Another beautiful play for Indiana. A new coach, a new team, a new energy in Bloomington.
You're going to see a bunch of guys that are all about winning. They play incredibly hard.
Coach Darren DeVries is ready to write the next chapter in Hoosier basketball.
We love what I think the fans are going to be able to see in terms of how we approach every game.
IU basketball is back. Up next, Marquette, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Hoosiers, 93 WIBC.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with a free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios, and they come with a lifetime warranty and 1-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Big win for humanity yesterday, and we can thank our fabulous listeners for that. We'll pat them on the back here in just a moment. But first, major announcement yesterday.
Is the big win the Buc-ee's?
Okay, so it looks like now. Full disclosure, I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
What?
Well, I don't travel anymore.
That's true. You don't leave your bubble.
I mean, I look. This would have been great for me. Whatever that was, 15 years ago, when I was every 2 weeks traveling across the country. These would have been great for me. But
yeah.
I after spending multiple years every 2 weeks visiting multiple states and traveling, I just was done with that, right? I don't travel anywhere. I don't go anywhere. I don't leave my house. But you travel. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
I have. I've been to a Buc-ee's.
And
it's worth the hype.
Oh, it is?
Oh, sure.
No
you got to
kidding.
do it at least once.
Now, for those of you who don't know, a Buc-ee's is basically like some sort of, it's like a mixture of Wally World meets a gas station. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's what, as many as 100 gas pumps. And then the inside, would you like to describe the inside of a Buc-ee's?
Well, you know, if you just take your regular gas station store and then quadruple it. They have their own brand name food. They make fresh food right there in front of you. And, you know, they've got fun names for, like, the beaver nuggets and things like that.
The what?
The little nuggets.
What are they called?
It's the beaver. Buc-ee's a beaver.
Yeah, but they're called beaver nuggets?
Yeah, they've got those.
Okay, but, and I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this, but once you've been, is it something you were saying, I desire to go back? Like, is this some sort of tourist attraction thing, or is it primarily, hey, you've been there, you've seen it, now we're just something that other people will stop at on the way?
Yeah, well, I mean, at its heart, it's a gas station.
Right, this is my point.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you really like the food that they offer, you might go back.
Have you had the food? Did you eat?
Sure, you buy little snacks.
What was it? Was it worth? Was it like destination I must go back and have the Bucky Beaver Nuggets or whatever they're called?
Some people think so. Yeah.
Really?
But I mean, if you're traveling, and especially if you're traveling across the country, they've got all sorts of supplies that you need.
Oh.
You know,
like a map, like a road atlas.
Yeah, like a map. You know, you need a phone charger. Or
I
something
got
like
you.
that.
Well,
all
but
the supplies.
for years I stopped at the Loves or the Flying J or Pilot. They're better than those. Like they had all that stuff too.
Yeah, they do. This is just it has a personality.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
Yeah.
so we mentioned all of this because it has now come out that it is believed Buc-ee's is in the process of acquiring land off I-65 in Greenwood to put their first Indiana-based location. Right, this is the first one in the state of it would be the first one in the state of Indiana.
Right, they're negotiating to buy a 20-acre plot. So, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a done deal pretty much. They're also looking at a second location, by the way, in Boone County.
Well, I'm sure the IEDC is going to pop into that. Maybe they'll put it in the LEAP district. Hey, it'll be Meta, Lilly, and the Buc-ee's. That's what we got for our hundreds of millions of dollars investment in the LEAP district.
It's a massive footprint, though. I mean, their plans, it includes the 24-hour convenience store, dozens of fuel pumps, all the parking. They do passenger and also commercial vehicles. So as we are the crossroads of America, this will be consistent with Buc-ee's other 54 U.S. locations.
Okay, so somebody in the
They've
YouTube
signed
chat,
this letter of intent.
not that anybody would ever lie, but Greg, I think Greg is his name in the YouTube chat, said, what I don't know, I being me, is that gas is 15 to 50 cents cheaper per gallon at the Buc-ee's. Is that right? Did you notice that when you stopped? Did you find that the gasoline...
Well, you know, the dude was doing the gas pumping while I was doing the shopping on the inside, so I wasn't paying attention to the price of gas.
Oh, so a typical woman move. You were just spending your husband's hard-earned fortune while he was left to count the pennies.
That's right.
Hey, great deal. So the theory is right. The theory is right. Let's just say it's 15 cents a gallon cheaper. I saved $3 on my gas, and then I blew it on
the inside?
on overpriced Buc-ee nuggets or whatever they're called.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it. That's a great business model, actually, though. Sucker you in,
Right.
and then we get you to spend all this money in the store.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
worth it. What's the victory lap?
What do you mean?
The victory lap.
Oh, for the oh yes, well yeah, this is actually a big deal. Sorry, I was so focused on the
Buc-ee's?
discounted get. Now this doesn't do. I want to
The Buc-ee nuggets?
It does nothing for me though because I don't live in the greater Greenwood area. I'm not driving across the city to go to a gas station.
What if you go up to Boone County if they put one up there?
No, I'm boycotting Boone County because of LEAP. I'm on a permanent Boone County boycott because of the
Okay.
LEAP district. So
Well, then you're going to miss out on the beaver nuggets.
yeah, boy, I'm going to miss it horribly. Anyway, why don't we take a break? Because this is kind of a big deal. I want to make sure we have time to go into this. Our audience did something absolutely fabulous. Our audience, Casey, always giving of themselves, their time, their energy, their passion. And actually what they did yesterday, I think, is really going to help them
It will
come
help
the legislative
humanity.
session. Yes, it's a big win for everyone. Let's talk about that when we come back.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate the paint, do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint, and the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house, and all the pillars and everything. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
With Rhino Shield's 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never have to paint your home again. And right now, you can have Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and if you don't want to paint the house, that would be the way to go.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
So the weather is finally starting to cool down. Make sure you and your family are prepared with AAA Hoosier Motor Club memberships. Whether it's a flat tire, dead battery, running out of gas, locking your keys in the car, AAA has your back. Anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365. And it's not just roadside assistance. AAA members enjoy exclusive perks at local favorites like Ruoff Music Center, the Indianapolis Zoo, Symphony on the Prairie, and more. You also get free travel planning and discounts on hotels and rental cars. It practically pays for itself. So if you're looking for that peace of mind on the road and more money in your wallet, do yourself a favor and visit AAA today. Get your AAA membership at AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. And don't forget to ask about their competitive insurance rates, auto, home, life, and more, because you don't have to be stranded on the side of the road to get help from AAA.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. You know, finding knowledgeable, dependable, honest, and competent professionals to rely on during your lifetime is invaluable, such as a physician, an attorney, and even a mechanic. These professionals can save you a great amount of time, money, and stress. The same can be said for a professional financial advisor. But how do you find the proper help for your unique and specific situation? Join me this weekend to find out. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
JMV here. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Miss M's Home and Garden. Join them Saturday, November 22nd and Sunday, November 23rd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Miss M's is located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Scaling things back. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 9:30. Starting today, the FAA is reducing the number of flights nationwide due to the government shutdown.
Federal transportation officials have started a 4% reduction in commercial flights nationwide and expect to scale up to 10% by next Friday. This is to safely accommodate reduced air traffic controllers during the government shutdown.
This is very tacky, but I hope some of those senators and congressmen get stuck because they can't get somewhere, so they'll get there and figure this out and get it going again.
The FAA is even putting a curfew on commercial space launches and re-entries. They must now take place between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. to avoid disruptions to aircraft routing during peak hours.
Fox's Jonathan Siri reporting. The U.S. military says they've struck another vessel in the Caribbean that the Trump administration says was transporting illegal drugs to the U.S. 3 narco-terrorists were killed in the process. And New York Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik says she's running to be the next governor of New York in 2026. She laid out her vision for the state while on Fox and Friends this morning.
I'm running for governor to make New York affordable and safe. We have seen decades of single-party rule led by Democrats, and Kathy Hochul is the worst governor in America.
A Republican hasn't been elected governor of New York since 2002. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow's down 168 points, 46,912. The S&P 500 also in the red, down 30 points at the moment, 6,720. And the NASDAQ is down 161 points to 25,130. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Trust our family to take care of your family. Call us today for our family maintenance plan at 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You're going to get so much trouble.
Me?
Yeah, you're done.
What are you talking about?
Well, your search history. It's over for you.
My search history.
You and Kevin, it's done.
Oh, you're in the soup with us, buddy. Don't try to claim innocence.
So there was it's Kendall Casey show, by the way, Rob. That's Casey. So Stormy Daniels was on I guess she's doing some sort of. So Stormy Daniels was I'm trying to figure out how to describe this on a family-oriented program.
An actress, model.
She was an adult film actress
who
they in the mid 2000s who did very well at the box office, for lack of a better term. And because of her assemblage and appearance, and she had her personality was outgoing. I don't know, like she could speak, right? You would see her do interviews or whatever, and you'd be like, this is she came off as a very down-home kind of normal person. Now, she was a dumpster fire, but they tried to make her sort of a mainstream actress. She was in the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie. She was in music videos.
Yep.
Like, she was, not that I would know anything about this now, but at one point, I mean, she was arguably the most famous adult film star in the world. And they tried to make her a mainstream actress. And she did have some level, I mean, she wasn't starring in films, but she was in several high-profile roles. And then, allegedly, at one point, she has this tryst with Donald Trump, which then sparked, the lawsuits and the, Avenatti's her attorney. I mean, we don't even have time to begin to go into that. But so she comes back into the mainstream when Trump becomes president, and then he sues her and all this, she comes.
That case is back in the news, by the way.
Well, it's never going away. The point is, she's tried to cash in on all this, and now I guess she's doing some sort of comedy show, which is ridiculous. But she was on some Chicago TV show. I guess she was having some, stand-up event there or whatever. And people were like, what happened to Stormy Daniels? She
doesn't look the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not, it's very hard to watch the best of ourselves slip away. And she is not what she once was. And so, like, people are posting these photos and whatever. And then you, unprompted, just started Googling all this stuff on Stormy Daniels. And I said, you're going to get in so much trouble when the firewall people or whoever start looking at your search history.
No, there's nothing inappropriate. Like I mentioned, she's back in the news with that case with Donald Trump. The Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals directed a lower court to reconsider Trump's request to move that hush money case from state to federal court. So there's a reason why there's the search history on my computer.
Sure.
Stormy Daniels.
What's your excuse, Kevin?
Yeah.
I was doing it for research purposes.
Sure you were. Many people are saying that she has TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, she may have something. I don't know if that's what it is or not. But anyway, boy, wasn't that like shocking though? I mean, look, people age. I get that.
Yeah.
But when you don't see somebody for a while, and then you're like, whoa,
There's a difference there.
Step away from the buffet table.
Put the fork down.
Okay, anyway, from one loser to a big win yesterday, our audience did something great, and I wanted to applaud everybody for it. So yesterday, we had pointed out how our old pal, Stephen Whitmer, the Indy Reporter team, was denied. Look, they do, that Indy Reporter account does so much interesting work at Indy_Reporter_ by follow it on government documents. They read through stuff. I don't agree with every opinion they have. I don't agree with every theory they have. But in terms of actually reading through government documents and putting them out for the public, they do phenomenal work. And so they had kind of said, hey, look, we're doing all this stuff, which is being picked up by, mainstream media from time to time, et cetera. We'd like to go cover the upcoming legislative session for the General Assembly, and they requested a media pass.
Yeah.
Right? Now, none of these people that I'm aware of have photos hanging in a post office. They're not on the run from the law. If you were to look them up in my case, you're not going to find them to be dangers against society. And for some reason, they were denied media access. And so we said, wait a second. You're going to let, this past year, Gabe Whitley, a convicted federal felon, who also, I believe, is still finding himself incarcerated in the Marion County jail, about to face state charges related to online threats, etc. They knew what was going on with him, and they gave him, for some ridiculous website that he started, a press pass. At least he claimed he got a press pass. And we saw him at the property tax rally, roaming around, taking photos or whatever. You're going to let that guy have a badge?
Yep.
But these people are actually doing work for the citizens of Indiana. They're not causing any harm. They're not threatening anybody. They're not causing ruckuses. The guy's run for state house before as a Republican nominee for state house. You're going to deny him the ability to get in? Well, we all realize why you're doing that.
They don't want the information to get out.
Right. And, he
likes to follow the money.
Sure. They don't want the information coming out because then he gets the info and they give it to us. And then, we talk about it. Well, they give it to everybody, but we get it. And they didn't want that. And so we told everybody, call this woman who'd sent the email denying him the press pass. Here's the email to send it to. And within, I tried to do the math on my in real time. Within like 2 hours.
Really?
They had sent him an email going, hey, your press request has been approved.
That's great. So now he'll be able to cover the session.
That's going to be awesome. The Indy Reporter in the State House, being able to just walk up to lawmakers and ask them questions. I'm all here for that.
Right. So congratulations to our listeners.
Yeah,
they made it happen.
Yeah, we wanted to thank, and good job on the IDOA, Indiana Department of Administration, people who saw the error of their ways for whatever reason that was, and have done the right thing. So that's good government, right? It doesn't matter how ridiculous it was that it was denied. They ultimately, after a throng of
phone calls and emails,
yes, correspondence from our listeners, made the right move. And so we'll look forward with the upcoming legislative session to have Stephen and the gang over there in the State House.
So he's going to go pick up his press pass on Monday. I fully expect a picture of that on his account. I'm
very excited. So anyway, we wanted to thank our listeners for doing that, and it shows the power of this program, and that will be good for all of us because we'll be getting not only more information, but a different, perhaps, type of information and view on information, potentially getting out into the masses, which is what we should all want, as many people being down there in a polite and decent manner, covering the State House as possible, because that's good for all of us.
It's a win for transparency, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on with Trump and these drugs and what's happening?
He announced that copays for weight loss drugs are going to be dropped from about $1,300 a month to $50 a month.
Just as significantly, Medicare and Medicaid will finally cover the cost of these weight loss drugs for millions of patients suffering from obesity. Copays for Medicare patients will be as low as $50. This is tremendous savings. I mean, now you're talking about from $1,350 to $50. This is tremendous news for the American seniors. And you all remember when I had 1/8 of 1% for the year. I got it 1/8, and I was so thrilled. but now we're cutting it 1,000%, 1,200%. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
Okay, so I have several questions about this. One, has anybody kind of determined the long-term effects of these drugs? Because I don't think I'm not saying they don't work. Clearly, people are losing all sorts of weight on them. Indisputable that's happening.
Right.
But I don't think that's how it's supposed to go. Like, I think God designed the body a certain way, and there are ways to lose weight. And some people can't do that. I understand. And I'm not judging anybody who's using them. I'm just asking, has anybody done any sort of deep dive into, hey, 10 years from now, what effect is this on everyone?
Don't think they've been around long enough to do long-term effects. I know that a lot of people use them to jumpstart the journey to better health.
Yeah.
Or it's a way in short term to get on track and then get off of it,
right,
if you can.
Because it basically suppresses your appetite, right? I mean, I'm not, if I'm wrong on that, correct me, but that's one of the things that it does is it makes you sort of not feel compelled
to eat.
Yeah. Right? Okay, that's the first question. And it's the same question, in fairness, I asked during COVID, like with these COVID shots. We're just streamlining whatever we're doing, and we're just rubber stamping whatever we're doing. Well, then why do we make all the other drugs go through all these analysis and blah, 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 and whatever before we bring them to market? And if it's working for people, great. I think that's wonderful. I'm not judging them. I was simply asking, like, do we know what the impact, same thing with the COVID shot,
right,
what this impact's going to be on people 10 years from now?
No, probably not. But in the short term, it can prevent things like stroke and heart attack and artery disease, even kidney disease and pre-diabetes and diabetes. So all good things to get you on the road to better health.
Okay, the other question I have is, how are they doing this? Are the drug companies, look, these people are not running soup kitchens. They're profit factories. Most of them don't actually care about your health other than being able to convince doctors that things are good for your health and you that they're good for their health, make them money. Like, they ain't running soup kitchens. So what's the catch here?
So the target groups, they include Medicare, Medicaid, and upcoming users of Trump RX platform, which I will find very interested in how that works.
So a regular person that isn't on those things, are they not going to see this benefit?
They're saying you'll be able to buy the product directly from the manufacturer and bypass insurance.
Oh, okay, but then I come back to, is the company then just admitting it? Maybe this is covered and I didn't see it, but is the company just admitting we were screwing everyone? Like, I mean, this is what, you see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I don't think they'll admit that.
Right, but
I understand what you're saying.
But if you're saying...
It seems like it.
Well, right, this is the bigger conversation here. If the company, are they getting the money from somewhere else? Like, are we subsidizing this as taxpayers, which Medicare, Medicaid, that's a taxpayer subsidized program. Are we paying this somewhere else and they're just not admitting that? Or are they admitting...
It was overpriced before and we're going to lower it now.
And if these things they're admitting by this much were overpriced, because they wouldn't still be just giving it away if they were losing money. They must still be making money even at this price. What other drugs are we admitting...
are overpriced and they could do the same thing for?
Right. You see how, like, why is anybody asking these questions? Either are we subsidizing this as taxpayers, or are they saying, yeah, we can still make money at this, and so we'll just do it, and yeah, we were kind of just screwing you. Like, that is the question that remains unanswered to me, and until I get an answer on that, I don't know which way to go with this, because if we're just subsidizing as taxpayers, well, then I'm totally against that. You're not doing anything, Mr. Trump. You're just making me pay for somebody else's stuff. I don't give you any credit for that. But if the deal is that Trump is such a great negotiator, he's able to strong-arm these guys into admitting, yeah, we were charged at $13.50, but we can do it for what? $50 now?
Yeah.
Well, then a pox on every one of these people's houses, and we should do something about that.
Yeah. It's the pricing is supposed to be effective beginning January of 26. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, if Democrats want this shutdown, let them come to their senses. It's time for a tougher response. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
This Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11th, Hammer and Nigel team up with the Veteran Support Network for Operation Rudolph. Help 50 indie vets get coats, socks, scarves, and much-needed cash. Donate now at veteransupportnetwork.org.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair India has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's not just cancer care, it's the complete care you get at Hendricks.
And you can feel that spirit of excellence, trying to do what's best from a medical standpoint, but also trying to affect the patient and their family as you would a family member.
Hendricks Care is trying to meet the patient where they are.
You know your body better than anyone else.
Do the cancer screening early.
An ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure.
Learn about health screenings at hendricks.org/cancer.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Join WIBC this Saturday for the Home and Garden Show live from 9 till 1 at Sullivan Hardware, 71st and Keystone for the holiday kickoff sale. The crew will be there with special savings for attendees just in time to deck the halls with holiday decor.
So Trump had that press deal yesterday, or announcement, and what that was supposed to be about the weight loss drug cost.
Yeah, somebody passed out at that announcement.
Yeah, and then, but he started it out by just went off on Nancy Pelosi, didn't he?
He did. He called her an evil woman.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country.
And on Dick Cheney.
I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible.
Well, he's not wrong on any of that. I mean, he's certainly spot on, but you could say that about a bunch of people in his party, too. I don't think that's exclusive to her, the description of her long career in the United States Congress.
Couple of decades there. But Marjorie Taylor Greene has definitely changed her tune. She used to rail against Nancy Pelosi, but now she's saying something totally different.
I will praise Nancy Pelosi. She had an incredible career for her party. I served under her speakership in my first term of Congress, and I'm very impressed at her ability to get things done. I wish we could get things done for our party like Nancy Pelosi was able to deliver for her party. So I wish her well in her retirement, but I would like to see people exit Washington a lot sooner rather than wait until their 80s.
Yeah, we are.
You know, Large Marge is an interesting case study because you see the metamorphosis of Large Marge there, that people like her, and this is the problem, well, there are many problems, but this is one of the major problems in the current political environment, especially when everything is so politically polarized basically by states or by district now, where you saw this in New York. Mondani got elected because the state is so liberal now that it's a race to go left in that city. There is no race for the actual election itself. It's a race to the left. And this happens in these Republican districts too, whether it's Congress or Senate or whatever, where these people recognize all I got to kind of do is weasel my way through a primary. Mm-hmm. And in the case of these congressional districts, so much of it is I just say who's the most Trump guy, and that if that's me, then I think I can win. And you get a lot of, not that there haven't always been charlatans or shapeshifters in government, but a woman like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, sort of cracked the code, where if I just latch on to I'm the most Trumpian person, I'll get my desired thing without actually really believing a whole bunch of it. And now she sort of recognized, hey, that ship has sailed. They don't really like me. They've figured me out. I have no path to be the senator. I'm not going to obviously be the governor. So now I got to plot my neck. Does this sound familiar? Mm-hmm. A charlatan gets in elected office and is immediately plotting his next endeavor because he knows people will figure him out. Mm-hmm. Does that sound like anybody we know? Mm-hmm. And so her new thing is, I'm going to suck up to the media and hope that they will like me. And that's what she's doing, right? She's saying and doing all of these things that appear to be totally contrarian to her previously espoused stuff, right? Because she's gunning for the next thing, when the hammer comes down.
She was on The View earlier this week, and at one point, Joy Behar asked her if she wanted to be a Democrat. And she said, well, I'm not going to go that far, but she's definitely softened her speech. And I believe it was Laura Loomer who was reporting that she thinks Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to run for president in 2028.
That would be awesome. We need that to happen, not because I want her to win, but that, look.
That would be a show?
It is a crap show. Let's just make it the best crap show we can actually make it. But the bigger issue is not this idiot or the idiots on the other side. It's collectively, we have created an environment in which the thought, professionalism, ideas, they don't matter anymore because of the gerrymandering, because of the movement of the states, where people just are trying to outdo each other in a primary, not on issues necessarily, but it's like, who's the most Trump candidate? Who's the most pro-Trump person? Who's the blah, blah, blah? And then they get in there, and I think maybe next hour we're going to play. Jim Banks was big mad at me yesterday.
Yeah.
He went on Hammer and Nigel. Real tough guy. Won't come in and say it to my face, but he'll, just like Rokita, he'll say it to someone else. We'll play some of that audio, I think, next hour. But you see a guy like Banks, where those guys, and one of those, was it Tuberville? Wasn't it Tuberville, the audio we played? Where he, on the shutdown and the filibuster, is just like, whatever Trump wants, give it to him. Sir, that is not your job. Mm-hmm. Your job is to be a check and balance on the president of the United States, not some butt sniffer or cheerleader or whatever the guy wants, give it to him. And we've lost all sense of what we're supposed to be doing here.
Well, that's because they're looking at the polling, and they're saying, oh, Trump is polling much better. I better associate with him.
Yeah, but the point is, Trump nationally is not polling better. Yeah. The country is not in a good position economically. The things are not getting better. People are not happy. And the government, this Congress, should be the check and balance on this guy to go, we're done here. We're done here with a whole bunch of this stuff. It's not working. We've tried it your way. It's not getting any better. And yet we keep seeing these undying loyalty pledges where nobody's stepping up and going, we're here for the people, not for Donald Trump.
Well, we were going to talk about tariffs, but I think we're running out of time. And the question that I have to ask you, are you jealous of Jim Banks?
That guy, that was great. I was rolling on the floor when I heard that.
Well, we're going to hear him ask the same thing coming up. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
But if you try sometime, it's just my fine. It's just my fine. You get what you need. Oh,
It's that time of year again when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
So the weather is finally starting to cool down. Make sure you and your family are prepared with AAA Hoosier Motor Club memberships. Whether it's a flat tire, dead battery, running out of gas, locking your keys in the car, AAA has your back. Anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365. And it's not just roadside assistance. AAA members enjoy exclusive perks at local favorites like Ruoff Music Center, the Indianapolis Zoo, Symphony on the Prairie, and more. You also get free travel planning and discounts on hotels and rental cars. It practically pays for itself. So if you're looking for that peace of mind on the road and more money in your wallet, do yourself a favor and visit AAA today. Get your AAA membership at AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. And don't forget to ask about their competitive insurance rates, auto, home, life, and more, because you don't have to be stranded on the side of the road to get help from AAA.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Sundown Gardens. Join them Saturday, November 22nd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh-cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. And don't forget to bring your holiday spirit.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the action Attorney General Todd Rokita is taking against Indianapolis Public Schools. How a woman died on Indy's east side late last night. Today is starting the reduction in flights from the country's busiest airports. And how soon could we see snow falling in the Hoosier State? Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Back to Fox News, it's 10 o'clock.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. 4 for flying. Today it's 4% flight reductions. The FAA ordered more each day to reach a 10% cut, reducing pressure on understaffed air traffic control towers during the government shutdown. Fox's Grady Trimble at Reagan National Airport.
The airlines had to scramble to quickly cancel hundreds of flights all across the country at 40 of the largest airports in the United States after the FAA ordered them to make those cuts for safety. This comes after a rough day for delays, with more than 7,000 of them yesterday. Here's how this FAA plan will work over the next week. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday, the agency is requiring airlines to cut 4% of their schedule. That number will gradually ramp up to 10% by the end of next week. Remember, air traffic controllers are about to miss their second full paycheck since the shutdown started. Low staffing levels, as they call out, is putting pressure on the system.
United CEO says it's putting stress on the economy. United, Southwest, Delta, and American Airlines all calling on Congress to quickly pass the Republican clean funding resolution with another Senate test vote today. Hopes that moderate Democrats will break the resistance, while President Trump says enough of the games.
President Trump now insists the Democrats will terminate the filibuster in the first hour if and when they assume control or power. Republicans have what the Democrats want. We should do it now and have the greatest 3 years in history. We still don't know of any meaningful progress in these behind-the-scenes negotiations between Republicans and Democrats to reopen the government. On the contrary, there are various reports that Democrats privately think that it will benefit them the most to let things drag on a little bit longer, especially now that there are problems at the airports affecting so many more people.
A federal judge ordering the Trump team to dig deeper into emergency reserves and fully fund SNAP food benefits. America's listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He says they're making their job difficult. Skies are cloudy this morning, 56 in the Circle City with a high at 65 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is taking action against IPS, claiming their policies restrict who's allowed on school campuses and prohibits employees from helping ICE agents and sharing details about students.
I am bringing a lawsuit against the Indianapolis Public Schools over their policies that hamstring ICE's ability to keep our schools safe from criminal illegal aliens.
Rokita says IPS is going against the state's anti-sanctuary law. The lawsuit is over a January situation where an illegal immigrant father wanted to self-deport and take his child with him, although IPS wouldn't hand the child over to ICE. They called the lawsuit political posturing. A fatal shooting from late Thursday night is now under investigation. Police say a woman was shot in her car on the city's east side near 10th and Michigan. She then crashed her car, was taken to a hospital, and later died.
Right now, detectives are just piecing together video surveillance, locating witnesses, trying to determine exactly what happened tonight.
MPD Captain Rob Ryder says a man was detained at the scene but later released. Flight restrictions are starting at Indianapolis International Airport today. The Federal Aviation Administration is asking airlines to reduce the number of flights due to the federal government shutdown, which has created some staffing issues. Hundreds more cancellations are anticipated across the country. The Indianapolis Airport Authority says they expect to be operating business as usual. Get ready to bundle up. After a mild day today, a cold front is expected to move in Saturday night, according to forecaster Jason Puma with the National Weather Service.
That's right. We're going to have relatively seasonable temperatures today and tomorrow with highs in the mid to lower 60s. But we'll have a cold front go through on Saturday night, and that's going to really drop our temperatures down for Sunday.
Puma says highs will be in the mid-40s with overnight lows in the mid-20s by Monday morning. And the Indiana Hoosiers are in State College this week, and they face a Penn State team that has had a tough season, losing their starting quarterback and head coach. But IU head coach Curt Cignetti says they can never overlook their opponent in this conference.
Everything in this game is earned, not given, and you got to earn it every single day. The game gives you nothing. You get out what you put in to really be sharp this week and have a great mindset.
The Hoosiers are 9-0 and number 2 in the college football rankings. Purdue has to host number 1 Ohio State tomorrow, and Notre Dame is in South Bend. They're ranked 10th and will take on Navy at 7:30. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Hey, look, we got to give a shout out to our old pal Jim Banks.
Do we?
He must be some sort of super fan of this program.
Yeah.
And it's an honor to me that he's supposed to be working on behalf of the taxpayers, but apparently all the way from Washington, D.C., he is listening to this program.
Yeah. We mentioned something that he said on the Will Cain Show 3 days ago.
We need to get that guy a meter because he could really help us because he is... Well, first of all, before we get into that, we have come up with a theme song that we thought was appropriate for this segment.
Yeah.
But you were always on my mind.
Oh, yeah.
You were always on my mind.
Ah, I love the redheaded stranger. It's a long distance dedication.
Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died.
Okay. All right. So here's the background on this, because he went on Hammer and Nigel yesterday, and these guys are just ridiculous, and they can't help themselves. The ego, the elitism of these people, they cannot stand to be criticized. Let me explain how this relationship works. I am the media.
Mm-hmm.
You, Jim Banks, are the office holder, which means you basically get to lord over me. But how this relationship works is you get to write the rules, and then I get to talk about the rules you're writing, and I get to give an opinion on them. There's no law that says I'm required to say you're doing a good job. There's no law that says I'm required to think that your ideas are good. I have to abide as a member of decent society by whatever garbage you shove down my throat, or how you make life unaffordable, or how people can't afford food, or their mortgages, or how you guys keep printing money. I have to abide by that. But I don't have to tell anybody I like you. I don't have to tell anybody you're doing a good job. And I get to comment when you flap your gums. That's how this works. Don't want me to comment on it? Stop saying stupid stuff.
So what he said was that in regards to the New York election with Mamdani, he said, if any of those people from New York want to move to Indiana, come on, we'll have you. Welcome. He said, we've got, we're great for business in Indiana, and we've got plenty of jobs for you.
And I said, no. Actually, we presented him with the Dumbass of the Day award because we said, no, that's not what we want. Because that's all this state has done the past 10 to 15 years is attract people from other states. Oh, so-and-so, or sometimes it's other countries, Casey. Oh, so-and-so's coming here, and they're bringing X amount of jobs and X amount of workers. And what has happened to our state the last 10 or 15 years?
Yeah. The landscape has totally changed.
The taxes go up every year. The government gets bigger. The area gets more congested. We see a changing of the cultural landscape of Indiana. Our farm fields are going away, all because, so-and-so should come from another state because they're high taxes. Come on in here. All those people do when they come in is change life for us. So I said, no, idiot. We don't want people coming from other states because that's all we've done the past 10 or 15 years is come on in, and it gets worse for us. And he apparently must listen to this program and doesn't like being told that that was a stupid idea because he went on Hammer and Nigel yesterday and, well, he said this.
Some of these folks leaving New York, is there a fear that, one, they would come to Indiana and vote the same way?
Well, that's not what I said. And you one of your colleagues on the radio who likes to misrepresent what I say often did that, I guess, a day or two ago. But I didn't invite them to come to Indiana and vote for Democrats or vote for left-wing policies. That's not at all what I said. But you have a colleague at your station that misrepresents a lot of things that I say because I think he's jealous of me, and I've heard that he's jealous because he always wanted to be elected to office too. He could never do that, so he misrepresents what I say.
Okay.
You were elected to office.
Well, there's a lot we got to address here because Hammer Nigel asked me about the answer. To go, well, we thought maybe he was talking about Abdul because you were elected. And I said, oh, you mean a politician doesn't know his head from his ass? Oh, that's shocking. So let's address a couple things.
Okay.
Nobody's saying you said to vote Democrat. But what happens is those people from New York don't share the values that we have. They come for the money. These other states, they come for the money, the benefits, the giveaways, the IEDC. You may have heard about that, Mr. Banks, and the hundreds of millions of dollars of corruption and conflicts of interest. When these companies come, they don't come because they love Indiana. They come because they want to make money. And then what happens is, yes, these people may not vote Democrat, but it forces the quote-unquote, well, first of all, a lot of Democrats get smart and run as Republicans. How many times have we seen that? But it forces the Republicans who do exist to start running further to the left to appease these people who have moved in here, not because they love Indiana or they love what we are, what we represent. They change what we are and what we represent, and they make us more like them. Why he can't be... Look, I get he spends most of his time in Washington, D.C. He's totally disconnected from what's going on in this state. He's a career politician guy now. He's a Washington, D.C. swamp creature. I get he doesn't know what's going on, but let me explain it to you, Mr. Banks, since you don't get it. It's not that they vote Democrat. It's that we have to become more like them, which screws all of us.
Well, what he was saying is that they're leaving places like New York because they don't agree with the left policies.
But clearly they do. 7% voted for the Republican. It's not like the guy who came in second was some Republican stalwart, some conservative bastion. It was a totally corrupt, rotten, disgusting Andrew Cuomo. That's who came in second. Like, we're talking about horrible beyond belief and really bad. Really bad got number 2. The Republican guy who cares about the things or espouses the things that we care about here was like 7% of the vote. That's utterly ridiculous to think that the people that will come here will not bring their belief system. And yes, they may be fleeing insanity, but they're going to make it bad here, which is what's been happening the last 10, 15 years. Now, the second part of this, Mr. Banks, Senator Banks, Benny Banks, whatever we're calling him these days. And I get that Jim has had his head shoved so far between Donald Trump's butt cheeks for so long that, you know, brain oxygen may not be getting to the brain. He may not be thinking clearly. I was an elected official.
That's true.
And I had the opportunity to spend a lot longer as an elected official. But unlike you, I didn't crave a life in politics. I didn't crave a life in elected office. I didn't spend every waking day getting meaning out of being able to lord over other people. What I looked at and said, this system as it currently exists cannot be fixed by one person. People cannot be helped by one person. And so I left that system to come here and do this so I can comment on people like you who vote to print $4 trillion, which adds to our inflation, which raises the price of everything and screws the people. These people, I talked to this Hammer Nigel last night. It was Micah or it's Jim Banks. Boy, what an hour that was, right? These people are mad I exist because I'm not beholden to any of them. I don't want anything from them. I don't care about going to their events, their parties, their dinners, their photo ops. I know what they are, and I ran away from them, and they hate that that exists because they can't control it. And so they just come on without, of course, in the case of Jim Banks, or Rokita does this, saying my name. They're real tough guys on other people's shows.
You're a colleague.
How many times have we invited these guys? Come in and say it to my face. No need to say it on another show. We'll give you as much time, and you can say all the horrible, rotten things you say right to my face. Do they ever do that?
No.
No, of course not. So that's who these guys are. The big, tough fighter. The big, tough Jim Banks. Goes on other shows, badmouths me, won't come in and say it to my face, and he's so far off. He's been in Washington so long. He's so far out of touch about what's happening in this state and how we are getting screwed by the people who are doing the thing that he just proposed that he doesn't have any idea about any of it.
Well, even if his utility bills do go up here in Indiana, he's still collecting his big fat salary in Washington.
Yeah. So anyway, we just wanted to give him credit.
Are you jealous?
Yes, I am so jealous that a grown-ass man needs some job so bad that he's willing. Because Jim Banks used to be a pretty decent guy. He used to have a pretty good voting record. And just like the rest of, like, I had hope for Jim Banks. Used to have him he used to come on the show when I was the fill-in guy. I'd fill in for all these different shows. He'd come on. He came in studio one time, I remember. And I had hope for him that he was going to be one of those guys, one of the rare people who, when the rubber met the road, was going to stand up for the people. And he showed himself, unfortunately, to be like, just like all the rest, where it's all lip service. He ran for leadership in the House. He was resoundingly rejected by his colleagues. And then instead of like a Thomas Massey, who said, I'll show you, and standing and fighting and saying entrenched in these espoused belief positions, he just rolled over and played dead and voted for Kevin McCarthy 15 times. And I guess he got rewarded because his whole goal in life is to be a senator.
So Donald Trump said that it is time to end the filibuster and reopen the government and secure elections.
I think it's time for them to end the filibuster and just put everybody back to work vote in voter ID, vote in no mail-in voting except for military, far-away military, and people that are very sick. I'd like to see one-day voting. I'd like to see not 65 days of voting from all over the place. No, I'd like to clean up the elections. The border, we've done a great job. We have a great, strong border now. But I'd like to see new rules on immigration that can be fair and good, but rules that you'll never get, rules that they're never going to get this.
In case you weren't aware, the government's still shut down. Ted Cruz last night said that the votes are not there to end the filibuster, though.
Nor should they be.
Right.
This is the way the system works. And it really is interesting. One of the things nobody's talking about is it puts on display how egregious the behavior of the Republicans are or have been, because their excuse is always, well, we don't have this. They always need one more thing. Look at the damage the Democrats are doing by staying united to a cause. The past 2 years, from 23 to 25, Republicans had control of the House, and they had enough senators to do damage, as we've seen the Democrats do. Did they get any spending under control? Did they do any major government reforms? No, they're admitting we have the ability to get what we want, just like the Democrats are going to get what they want, and they haven't done it. They're without acknowledging it. That's what they're admitting. You can do whatever you want, even in the minority, as long as you have 41 people who will stay united. They don't want to fix these things.
So yesterday we were talking about something, and I believe we actually spoke it into existence. We'll talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
The government shutdown, which reaches day 38.
93 WIBC.
Could that call to reopen the government be answered today?
What happens next?
Flights will be cut at various airports nationwide.
Happens here.
Delays are quickly piling up this morning.
Stay in the know.
It started as a two-car crash. Someone pulled out a gun.
While you're on the go.
A former NFL player facing attempted murder charges.
Try to score political points.
Indiana is suing Indianapolis Public Schools.
Christmas Nights of Lights starts tonight at the fairgrounds.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Judy loves her fall in Indy, but she doesn't like the paint, so she called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Not sure what to get him this holiday? You can't go wrong with a gift from Untuck It. Every guy wants to unwrap our best-selling, wrinkle-free, and performance styles. From polished shirts for holiday parties to cozy layers for family photos, you'll find everything he needs to look sharp and feel comfortable all day and night. So, get a head start on your holiday gift list. Early holiday sale happening now. Find the perfect gift for everyone on your list at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. Well, it's that time again. The Christmas season is officially underway, and we're kicking it off in style. Join us this Friday through Sunday for our holiday open house at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. We've turned the stores into a Christmas wonderland filled with unique gift ideas, festive decor, and one-of-a-kind ornaments you won't find anywhere else. Pick up your open house coupons for extra savings up to 25% off select items. You'll also find Indiana's largest selection of pre-lit Christmas trees from 2-foot to 14-foot tall, and every one of them is up and glowing at our Keystone and Allisonville stores. And right now, take an extra 10% off all artificial trees, already priced 30% off. The best prices of the season. So come on in, get inspired, and kick off your holidays with us at Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
I about fell over yesterday when I saw this. I was like, didn't we just have this conversation?
We did. We were talking about if there was a movie biopic, what artist would you like to see? And I said Michael Jackson would be amazing. And then later in the afternoon, it was announced that Lionsgate is going to do the Michael, which will be released on April 24th of 26.
Yeah, so obviously there have been several of these biopic movies. The most recent one that's out now that has not done very well, as we said it was not going to do very well, was the Springsteen movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been, the Queen movie, the Dylan movie, there was an Elvis movie. The Elvis one is horrible. The thing that got me about the Elvis movie, now I've not seen the other two, they just made up so much stuff. And it's like, Elvis lived an interesting enough life.
You don't need to make it
and
up.
it's like ridiculous stuff that never happened. And it's like, why wouldn't you just do a thing on his actual life? It was fascinating, like friends he never had and the way things went down. It's just like, anyway. And so, yeah, we started this. You and Matt Hiplin, I think, our boss, were having this conversation to be like, who is left that you would do a biopic about that people would be interested in?
Yeah. And I said Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And then there it is. So the release date, April 24th of 2026, it will star his nephew. Jafar Jackson will play him, and it's going to feature a thriller and Want to Be Starting Something, and it's going to be from his rise as the Jackson 5 frontman to being a global superstar. There's rumor that there's going to be a Michael 2 because they couldn't get it all in.
Well,
because it was going to be like 3.5 hours long.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you, where, like, Elvis, it's a relatively short period of time, and you can break it up into segments, right? There's Leather Jacket Elvis, Rockabilly Elvis, movie Elvis, Army Elvis, movie Elvis, comeback Elvis, jumpsuit Elvis, right? And then the end, right? So you can sort of compartmentalize those. The Michael Jackson stuff is, and in the case of Dylan, I mean, it's 1960, basically Blood on the Tracks was 75. I've not seen the movie. I don't know if they go past that, but that's basically it's a sort of a 15-year window. Queen, Freddie Mercury passed away in the early 90s. Queen became big in the late. This is sort of, again, a 15-year. Michael Jackson, you're talking to the time from he was a little boy.
Right.
All the way until the mid-2000s. What year did he die? Was it 08, 09? I think it was 09.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're talking, a 40 or 50-year span you've got to cover where there's continually interesting, early Michael Jackson, interesting, but then the salacious stuff. How would you do a biopic on Michael Jackson without the salacious stuff? And how do you fit that all into one movie?
Right, exactly. And where do you stop it? So I guess the movie's going to explore all of his creative ambition, his family dynamics, put Gary, Indiana back in the spotlight, also his offstage life. And these rumors are circulating that maybe they'll do a part 2. That hasn't been confirmed just yet. But you can expect that Thriller is going to be back on the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
Well, wait a second. Then, if they're talking about doing a part 2, that means then they're not even going to get into most of the later stuff. If they're talking about a part 2,
the later stuff would be more controversial, and you have to imagine that his family is approving the script, right? Because his nephew is playing him. They're not going to allow some of the controversial stuff to come out. They're the ones that are going to approve the film.
Well, then it's going to bomb too, because no offense, most people don't want to go see some guy pretending to be Michael Jackson singing ABC 1 2 3. They want to see the post Thriller stuff.
The drama
is the bizarre when the bizarro Michael Jackson world started, happening. Because he was on a set for a commercial, right? And he got in something exploded.
It was a Pepsi commercial,
and then that's when he started, both physically and and persona-wise, sort of changing. He was, or at least came off as, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I'm not a Michael Jackson fan or expert. But to the public at large, came out as a normal, regular sort of person until after that happened.
You think the movie's not going to do well? I think it's going to do extremely well.
Well, it may. I mean, he's got just millions and millions of fans, so it probably will. I'm saying, though, will an average person, if there's nothing, quote unquote, interesting in it, or they don't go into the stuff, like, I'm not going to go see that.
No. But you just said you're not a fan of his music.
I'm not, but that's what I'm saying is it's like I don't know how you're going to make that work, which obviously they're going to have something they're going to put out.
Behind the scenes, Quincy Jones stuff, him in the studio recording, all of it, the rise.
Would you pay $12 to go see some guy pretending to be Michael Jackson talking to some guy who pretended to be Quincy Jones? Are you parting with your hard-earned money for that?
I'll go see this movie. Yeah, I'm excited about it. But I also grew up listening to his music.
Well, you're a fan.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting how Michael Jackson, unlike probably any other artist, has been able to have staying power? Look, the guy was clearly involved in at best, very bizarre behavior. Much of it was probably highly inappropriate, and a lot of it may have been just plain illegal, right? And disgusting. You know, other than people there don't know the whole story, the whole truth. But people who culturally would resoundingly reject that from anybody else, with Michael Jackson, it's just like, oh yeah, he was awesome. And it's like that their brain has somehow turned, all of that off to the point where, look, all these rock stars have some issue where you're like, oh, that's kind of strange or maybe not appropriate. But his was just decades of this stuff.
Yeah.
And with him, it's like people, it's like some great.
How did they not address it?
Trance he has over people were with him.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Well, they say that this movie aims to present a new perspective on his journey and artistry. So we'll see if they get into the drama. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Groceries, gas, just about everything you can buy comes with a tax on it. No matter what, the government's always there to take their cut of your cash. Your money belongs to you. That's why Congressman Jim Baird joined with President Donald Trump to pass historic legislation to ensure you keep more of your hard-earned cash. According to the White House, Congressman Baird's vote means Americans will receive a tax cut, saving over $10,000 every year. They'll get no taxes on tips for workers, and families will receive permanent increases to child tax credits and expanded child care access. That means bigger paychecks, a stronger economy, and more prosperity across our nation. To learn more about how President Trump and Congressman Jim Baird are saving American families money and putting money in your wallet, call Congressman Baird's office at 317-563-5567 or visit baird.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. You know, finding knowledgeable, dependable, honest, and competent professionals to rely on during your lifetime is invaluable, such as a physician, an attorney, and even a mechanic. These professionals can save you a great amount of time, money, and stress. The same can be said for a professional financial advisor. But how do you find the proper help for your unique and specific situation? Join me this weekend to find out. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Here comes another attempt. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:31. The Senate is trying again to pass a bill to end the longest government shutdown ever, which is now at day 38. On Fox's America's Newsroom, Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Democrats are holding the country hostage.
The far left, which is the tail wagging the dog, is bullying the reasonable Democrats out of coming to the table.
Democrats argue it's Republicans who have blocked progress by refusing to negotiate. Democrats want an extension of health care subsidies. There's a new name in the race for New York governor. New York Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik says she's running in 2026, adding that current Governor Kathy Hochul's endorsement of New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani should be disqualifying.
We saw a raging anti-Semite, pro-Hamas communist who wants to raise taxes, and frankly, he barely won the majority of New York City voters. Kathy Hochul endorsed him and bent the knee. She has failed New Yorkers.
No Republican has been elected governor of New York since George Pataki won his third term in 2002. People in Louisville are coming together to honor the 13 people killed and the others still missing following the UPS cargo jet crash. After takeoff Tuesday night, the NTSB is still investigating what caused the crash. And Starbucks fans are frustrated over the limited supply of the viral Starbucks Bearista cups. The 20-ounce glass cup with a bear wearing a green beanie has become a sought-after item, being sold at stores for $30, with some reselling for up to $500. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's that time of year again when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at boerremodeling.com.
This is a story about Billy Joe. So the debt of Americans is on the rise again. That sounds like a very bad thing to me.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
The total household debt hit a new high, $18.6 trillion. Young adults have been hit the hardest. Their delinquency rate for people age 18 to 29 rose 5%. So what are they having the most debt on? Well, mortgage is
okay,
the top
so
debt.
this does include mortgages.
Mhm.
Okay.
Followed by auto, student loan debt, and then credit card debt.
Okay, so the first two, let's address the first two.
Mm-hmm.
Because those don't concern me as much unless you're house poor. Because in your house or your automobile, now I think you're much more likely to be underwater in some financial guy probably will scream at me or send a mean-spirited email if I'm wrong. But I would think people are much more likely to be underwater in their car than their house because of depreciation. You know what's the old saying? You know, you drive the car off the lot and it loses X amount of its value, right? Whereas a house, as we've clearly seen based on these assessments, quote unquote, goes up over time. So you might owe X amount on a house, But if the actual value is Y and Y is bigger than X, yes, you have debt, but that is technically, at least the way the government views it, it's an asset that you can and will eventually make money on. So I don't have as much unless somebody is house poor. And for those of you who know house poor, it's like you live in a nice house, but all your money's going into the house, so you can't afford other things. That one doesn't bother me as much. The car does to an extent because you can get underwater in your car. Although, again, it's an asset that you can move and conceivably...
Depreciating asset.
It is. No, you're right, but you got to have a car to go somewhere. Now, there are cars like mine.
Right. Can you be car poor?
I mean, where you...
Select a car that's...
Power locks.
Not within reach.
Windows.
Yeah.
But it drives me to and from work. But then there's a car like I'm, driving a BMW every day, and I have, no business doing that. But then there's the rest of it. And the rest of it is the big anchor, which is the student loan debt and the credit card debt, because that's not returning you anything. It doesn't do anything for you. Now, a student loan can conceivably, you have a degree, I get a job, but clearly it's not, unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, some high-paying position.
It's got to outpace the loan.
Right, exactly. And in most cases, it appears to not be. And then, obviously, the credit card debt is just actual money spent, and that's totally a sunk cost.
The average credit card debt per borrower is $6,523.
That's what they owe?
The average person.
Average person in this country owes how much?
$6,523 on their credit card.
That is so scary. And how do you get to that position? So
by paying your utility bills, and your insurance, and your medical bills.
Okay, so this is then we get to the next part. Like, this is the problem with this. It's such a large problem. There's no way we're going to solve it in one segment. But if you're paying your utility bills or your mortgage or any sort of monthly expense on a credit card, you're lifing wrong.
Right.
Like, and then it comes back to a failure both of the public education system, but also parenting in general, of people not having a firm understanding of
finances and financial literacy.
Here's how it works. And one of the things that my father did for me, and in hindsight it proved to be very helpful in the long run, was he basically said at about 15 or 16, here's life, college is on you, here's your options, here's the one I'd take, go forth and figure it out, right? And I was allowed to live at his house and under his rules, and so I didn't have a rent or anything like that. But all of the stuff, the expenses of living, were my responsibility from a very young age, and it taught me the discipline of here's how you do these things, here's how you pay these things off. I will help you with A, B, and C, but everything else is on you. And I think a lot of parents bail their kids out too much at a young age, and they don't learn the financial discipline.
Right.
Like, I remember when I was 16, there was this kid on my baseball team, and his parents bought him a Mustang. And I remember seeing him pull up to baseball practice in that Mustang, and I was like, that is going to screw that kid up forever. First of all, a kid should never drive a nicer car than their parents. Never. Under no circumstance should a kid have a nicer car than their parents. But also, what are you teaching that kid that at that age, you're not responsible enough to have that car?
He's not going to value it either.
Right, and I get people love their kids and they want to do nice things for them and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, but like, that's the thing. We don't teach, and we can put it on the public education system, and part of it we should, because they don't teach, they'll teach you 9,000 different languages, but they won't teach you how to, balance your checkbook and pay the bills and all that stuff. But also the parenting of teaching your kids, life is hard. You earn stuff. You aren't given it. And purchases, and especially big purchases, you got to put a lot of thought into them. You got to the ramifications, but clearly that is not happening in our society.
Yeah, and you'll take more pride in it once you do work for it.
Yeah.
And attain.
Or you'll end up at 40 years old driving a car without power locks or windows. Why? Because it gets me to and from work.
Top 10% of households now account for nearly half of all consumer spending.
What is it?
Top 10% of households.
Yeah.
The top 10% earners account for nearly half of all consumer spending.
That's also very concerning, because it's what we talk about all the time in this program. A society thrives when they have a robust middle class, both in the amount of people in the middle class and their ability to elevate forward in the middle class. Like that's because there's always going to be tippy top people, even the North Korean society, right? There's tippy top people. But if the rank and file aren't moving forward, it's always about this is a weird analogy, but it's the best thing I can think of. When I was an elected official, because I was an elected official, our senator doesn't seem to know that, but I was an elected official. One of the things we had to do, and it was a fascinating venture, was to create a new sign and zoning ordinance for the town. And it had been 10, 15 years since they touched signing zoning ordinance. Obviously, there's all sorts of changes, and you got to update all this stuff. And one of the things, I'll never forget this, when dealing with signage, whether it's street signs or whether it's signage, businesses that are located near streets and how you do that, and the chief of police said this. He said, the goal of traffic should always be to keep it moving. Even if it's at 5 miles an hour, people feel optimistic as long as they are going forward. I mean, you think about on the highway, if you're stuck on 70 or 465 or whatever, even if you're creeping, as long as you're going, you think, well, maybe it's right up the road that it is, right? So you're optimistic. It's when you sit there. And the same thing is true with our classes in society. If people are moving forward, even if it's by 1 or 2% every year, or they feel themselves being elevated, or they were able to get a little bit nicer car, or whatever, they feel hopeful, hey, this is going to keep getting better. I'm going to continue to engage in the society. But then when they don't, or they start shrinking or going down, people lose hope. They lose optimism. And that's when you start seeing the real decay of society.
So something happens on Monday. It's the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Are you aware of this? It's
I've
like
heard the song.
It's like a requirement. You know, I lived in Michigan a few times in my life, and when you do that, you have to know the history of this. So I thought at this point in the program, we could test your knowledge of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wait, real quick. I love that you think I'm supposed to have some sort of knowledge outside of the song. Like what? I've never lived in Michigan. I've never been a boater. I've never been a fisherman.
But you're aware of the song.
I know the song, yes.
The Gordon Lightfoot song, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagoo.
Yes.
Okay, you ready? Here's some questions.
I'm ready, yes.
This first one's a gimme if you can do math, Rob. When did the Edmund Fitzgerald sink?
Well, it would have been 1975.
Correct.
Was the song 78 or 77? I can't remember if it was 78 or 77. But
I'm not sure.
I think it was 2 or 3 years later he did the song. Anyway, go ahead.
How many tons of iron ore was the Edmund Fitzgerald hauling when it sank?
A load of iron ore. It's tons. Is it 26 tons? Is it 20? Is 26 tons?
26,000.
26,000.
Yeah, 26,116. Yes.
Or what, tons? I think in pounds. No wonder it sank. Who thought putting 26,000?
Yeah, 26,116 tons.
Jeez.
Where was the Fitzgerald coming from after picking up her load?
It was coming from Wisconsin.
Correct. Very good. Where was it headed before it sank?
Now, you and I are going to get into this because the song says Cleveland.
Correct.
But you said he got that wrong.
He did get that wrong.
You said it's Michigan. How did he miss? That seems like a pretty big omission.
Right.
Or mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, the whole rest of it's like the Elvis movie. Did he just make it all up? Did the ship not even really sink?
I believe that's the only error that's truly
That's
in
a
the
big
song.
one.
Yeah, but
how did he miss that?
Where was the Fitzgerald headed?
Well, we just discussed, right? It was
Michigan.
In the song, Michigan in reality.
Detroit is where it was going. Do you know the name of the captain?
He just calls him the captain in the song, doesn't he?
You're never going to get this. His name is Ernest McSorley.
Well, but does he say the name in the song?
I don't believe
Yeah,
he
he calls him the captain,
Yeah.
right?
At 7:10 p.m., one last communication was heard from the captain of the Fitzgerald. What did he say?
Well, I know they'd.
I got some options if you want multiple choice.
Well, it's not we'd have made Whitefish Bay if we'd have put 15 more miles behind us. Isn't that what he says? That in the song? No. What are the options?
Tell my wife I love her.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to make it. We're holding our own, or the bow is underwater.
This is not in the song either, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I love you're asking me these questions as though I've clearly told you I know the song. Anything that's in the song, I might be able to have a puncher's chance at. What were my options? Kev. I'm going to do a phone a friend with Kev here.
Tell my wife I love her. I don't think we're going to make it. We're holding our own. The bow is underwater.
And that was the last communication?
The last communication heard
Kev,
from the
what
captain.
do you think?
I have no idea.
Oh, that was a huge help. Thank you. What was the answer?
We're holding our own. Okay. When the storm started getting bad, the captain headed for safety of Whitefish Bay. How far was the Fitzgerald from safety when it sank?
Well, in the song, he says we'd have made Whitefish Bay if we'd have put 15 more miles behind us.
Mm-hmm. It's not 15 miles.
Okay. How far is it?
17 miles.
17 miles.
Yes.
Okay.
How many lives were lost aboard the Fitzgerald?
It rang 29 times, right?
Correct.
Yeah, very good. So that'd be
Yes.
29 people.
True or false, there is a memorial service held every year in honor of the men who died on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, in the song, they're in a hall.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's every year or not, though. I'll say true.
True.
Okay.
Last question. One piece of the Edmund Fitzgerald was brought up from the wreckage as a memorial to the families of the men who were lost. What was it?
I'll go with the anchor.
Nope. It was the bell.
Oh, the bell.
The
yeah,
bell
okay.
that rang 29 times.
Very good.
So the anniversary, 50th anniversary on Monday.
Very good.
Yeah.
Are you going to have some sort of event at your house or something?
I'll listen to the song.
Okay, very good. The song that's wrong?
Right. Hammer's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
We're going to have a fun show. It's Beer Sample Friday this afternoon on the Hammer and Nigel show, plus Murr. James Murray from Impractical Jokers joins us in studio, 93 WIBC.
It's that time of year again when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilson, third-generation owner of Wilson Farm Market, just 15 minutes north of 465 on 31. If you are looking for your source of homegrown, locally made, know where your food's coming from, we are your spot. We have hand-dipped ice cream, 130 different kinds of cheese. We fry chicken, just a little bit of everything, a foodie's heaven. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465, right on US 31.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
JMV here. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Miss M's Home and Garden. Join them Saturday, November 22nd and Sunday, November 23rd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Miss M's is located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Want to be in the room where it happens? Win opening night tickets to Broadway's Hamilton Tuesday, December 2nd. Enter now at WIBC.com for your shot to see the show everyone's talking about.
Jason Hammer, one half of the Hammer and Nigel show, joins us now. Hello.
Hello. Hearing this Michael Jackson song reminds me of a segment we had yesterday on the show. So I guess they're making a biopic. Is that what it's called? Is it biopic or biopic? Biopic on Michael Jackson. And I think it's like his nephew or some relative that's playing the role. Sounds just like him.
Jafar Jackson is his name.
Right. So I'm curious to see how that would do at the box office compared to, say, the recently flopped Bruce Springsteen movie.
Well, we talked about it. The Springsteen didn't flop because of him. It flopped because it's a stupid, of a guy's life, the stupid thing to pick, and it's ridiculous. Nobody was going to go see that other than the fans. I think the Michael Jackson thing, I'm with Casey. I think it'll do well, although because he has a broader fan base, right? And he's more internationally known.
Also more influential, I could say.
Yeah, I mean, look, Springsteen's national acclaim was really one album. It's one of the biggest albums of all time. The tour was arguably the biggest pre-Taylor Swift tour of all time. But that's what most people of the 80s know him for, is Born in the USA. Michael Jackson, he was, famous when he was 9 years old, and it was all the way, even till the end.
And you look at some of these successful biopics, there are layers to the story, right? There's a lot of layers to what's going on with Michael, from Jackson 5, his relationship with his family, turning white, the allegations, all that kind of stuff. The death, Dr. Murray, I don't know if they get into that. Look at the NWA movie. That was really good. All those big personalities, big egos, like Bruce. Okay, you're right. There was an amazing, 2-album run there, but other than that, was it really interesting?
And he's personally boring, like to most people. He's that's part of why I loved him. Is it was a great role model, scandal-free, never did drugs, but like people want the smoke when they go to the movies, man.
Well, with Michael Jackson, you also have all these ancillary characters.
Sure.
Macaulay Culkin, Brooke Shields, Lisa Marie Presley, Quincy Jones,
Bubbles the Chimp,
right? Diana Ross, like all these other people that you could bring in.
Yeah, I mean Bruce's life, he just wandered around his hometown. Oh, that's too bad. I should write a song about that. Sorry you lost your job, man.
Low key, Rob's Bruce impression is pretty good. You don't do it enough. Like, I make you do it every Christmas when I want you to be Bruce, talking to the crowd.
It's not many. It's not many.
It's so good. Big news happened earlier today. It was announced that Trivial Pursuit and Battleship have been elected to the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So, pound for pound, though, would you rather play any one of those board games or the Hammer and Nigel Show board game?
Move over Monopoly. This Christmas, there's only one item that can bring the whole family together. Hammer and Nigel Products presents the Hammer and Nigel Show, the board game. Just set up the game board, roll the dice, and follow the instructions on the corresponding cards. Like this.
Look, Dad, you landed on lewd, nude, due to the news. I sure did, Jimmy. Now here, help me get these underwear off.
It's perfect for children of all ages and ideal for family game night.
Okay, Mom, you landed on booze news. I love you. Now pass Mama that case of Old Milwaukee.
And if you order in the next 10 minutes, we'll even throw in another game for free. Elizabeth Warren's Twister.
Left foot red.
Yes.
Left foot red.
The Hammer and Nigel Show board game. Order today.
Operators are standing by, Rob.
Now I'm trying to remember. I don't remember participating in that, but I'm pretty sure that's me. Talking to John Herrick, isn't it?
No, that was Rob Connett.
Oh, that's Rob Connett. I was like, is that me? I was trying to think of who was still here.
Different Rob.
Because I heard Daisy, I heard John Herrick, I heard
Madison McGill, who used to work here.
That's right. I was trying to think of who and I was like, is that me? I don't
No,
remember.
that was Connett.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember participating in that. That's an oldie. That's an oldie.
It's a classic.
Yeah, that's what you do. What are you doing this afternoon? What's coming up?
So it's Beer Sample Friday, so we're going to have a good time. Murr from Impractical Jokers. Murr's in studio with us at 4:30.
Well, is he in town?
Doing a comedy show tonight and tomorrow at Helium.
That's great.
And we'll have some barguments, and man, we're going to get after it. Let's have some fun.
Thanks, Hammer. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Indy, don't use the beautiful fall to paint. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Remember lining up before dawn on Black Friday? Those days might be gone, but the excitement isn't. Great Lakes Honda Fishers is keeping Black Friday alive all month long. This week only, lease a 2025 Accord SE for $299 a month with zero down and register to win a $500 Visa gift card. Visit Great Lakes Honda Fishers off State Road 37 or at GreatLakesHondaFishers.com, where every day is Black Friday. Tax not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. $10K a year. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends November 9th. See dealer for details.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, is taking action against Indianapolis Public Schools. We'll tell you what for, how a woman died on Indy's east side late last night, and how soon could we see some snow falling in the Hoosier State. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
A shutdown in the skies. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. The government is reducing traffic at 40 major airports in response to a shortage of air traffic controllers who are working without pay.
We got to figure out a way to work this out just to get the country back in order. It's, it's been going on far too long. All this fighting is just crazy.
Fox's Jonathan Seri reporting from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta.
Things are busy here at the world's busiest airport, but they are moving along. The TSA checkpoints are reporting wait times anywhere from no wait to 15 minutes, so that's pretty good. But passengers are noticing the effects. Federal transportation officials are cutting back on flights incrementally, starting with a 4% reduction today, leading up to a 10% reduction next Friday across 40 high-traffic airports, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and here in Atlanta.
Now, all of this is putting more pressure on lawmakers to reopen the government. The Senate is expected to hold a test vote on a new plan today.
There is a new test vote today. Senate Republicans recalibrated their plan to end the shutdown. The bill would reopen the government temporarily and fund 3 other parts until next fall. But Democrats are divided and buckling down on health care. The bill would reopen the entire government through sometime in January, and it would also fund the Department of Agriculture, veterans programs, and Congress through September 30th next year. There is also a promise for a vote on health care money, but few believe this unlocks the shutdown box.
And that is Fox's Chad Pergram reporting. Meanwhile, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration yesterday to fund food stamps in full for the roughly 42 million low-income Americans that rely on them. The Justice Department, though, almost immediately told the court it's going to appeal that ruling. America's listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's suing the school district. Cloudy skies. It'll be that way much of the day today. Currently 57 on Monument Circle with a high at 65. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Indiana's Attorney General is filing a lawsuit against Indianapolis Public Schools, saying they have blocked ICE agents from doing their job.
Indiana's anti-sanctuary law prohibits local government entities from restricting their cooperation with federal immigration authorities like ICE and from interfering with federal immigration enforcement.
According to Todd Rakita, an illegal immigrant father wanted to self-deport and take his child with him, but IPS prevented immigration enforcement from taking that student out of the school. The school district says they were deeply offended by the Attorney General's dehumanizing language by referring to students and families as aliens. A woman is shot and killed late Thursday night on Indy's east side. Police say it happened near East 10th and Michigan Streets after an argument in a parking lot.
A life was lost, and that's tragic. Anytime a life is lost is tragic, but what makes it even worse is that decisions could have been made here tonight to avoid that.
IMPD Captain Rob Ryder says the woman was shot while sitting in her car, then crashed, and later died at the hospital. A man was detained but released. Investigators believe the two knew each other. A major new effort to combat food insecurity is underway in Indianapolis. The Resource Hub Foundation and We Consultants have launched Project 5000, aiming to feed 5,000 families. The project is utilizing a powerful partnership with Indigo, which is transforming a city bus into a mobile food distribution site. It will visit neighborhoods mostly to provide food boxes and some community resources. Lake effect snow could show up in parts of Indiana starting Sunday as cold air moves over Lake Michigan.
Up further north, this time of year, we get into what's called lake effect season. You have that cold air going across that warmer lake, and that can result in some heavier areas of snow.
National Weather Service forecaster Jason Puma says it's typical to see the first snowflakes in November as temperatures drop and we ease until late fall. The Indianapolis Colts are in Berlin, Germany, landing today. They'll take on the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday with game time at 9:30 Eastern. Newly acquired cornerback Sauce Gardner is expected to play, but defensive lineman DeForest Buckner did not make the trip. He's out with a neck injury. And it's Sectional Championship Friday in high school football. 48 teams will go for trophies tonight with a ticket to the regional on the line. Most games kick off at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You're saying the jobs jobs report, job information. Things are not going well with jobs.
Yikes is the word you're looking for.
Uh-oh.
Job cuts for October totaled 153,074, a 183% surge from September, and also 175% higher than the same month a year ago.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think this reinforces what we've been saying for a long time on this program, dating way back before the Trump presidency even, that structurally the economy is broken. And, you know, you can mask it, just like they masked, you know, for years that, oh, hey, we shut society down and no one felt any pain, right? And then obviously a year or two into it, everybody, oh, why is everything so expensive?
Right.
It turns out if you just print trillions of dollars and throw it at people, things are going to get more expensive. It's the same thing here. You have an economy that has been boosted in large part for years now based on totally ridiculous, out-of-control government spending. And then when you couple that with the fact that the money spigot got turned off, then you put that on top of that AI is now front and center in this economy, and it's a recipe for abject disaster, which is what appears to be going on.
So the technology sector laid off more than 33,000 people. That was up 6 times since September. October was not a good month for jobs. Layoffs linked to AI integration, like you mentioned, and also staffing recalculation. It was the highest level of job cuts since October of 2003 and has been the worst year for layoffs since 2009.
Isn't it fascinating, though, like this happens? So these are real people losing their jobs. Outside of, you know, people talking about it on the radio or whatever, do you see some lawmaker crying for these people like they're crying for the federal employees? Is anybody, and I'm not saying those federal employees, I want them to lose their jobs or be in a bad position, but you don't hear a word about it. When it's the private sector, you don't hear anything. We've talked about this with the Obamacare stuff. No one gives a damn about our premiums. No one's fighting for us and going, man, it's twice as expensive for those guys as it was, 4 or 5 years ago. We got to do something about that. Oh, but these Obamacare people, they'll shut the government down. Same thing here. When it's a private sector job, nobody cares at all. But when these lawmakers, but when it's a government person, well, this is a tragedy.
Yeah. So hiring freezes and the belt tightening among companies, it's not only because of AI, but it's also because of rising costs. Not only are we paying more for stuff, but so are companies, which means they can hire less people.
Well, and it's this, you're also on top of this, these tariffs, which at a time where inflation is out of control, this is like the worst thing you could have done. And I mean, I think Trump's going to lose at the Supreme Court. Now they're struggling. Those oral arguments in this tariff case were fascinating because the judges basically said, or Amy Coney Barrett said it out loud. And so what's happening here is these Democrat attorney generals and this business groups are suing over these tariffs. And from the sound of it, I think they're going to win. But one of the things the judges appear to be struggling with is if they win, these people are going to be entitled to all this money back. And they're saying, how do you get the money back? Who pays it back?
Right.
How do we do this? We don't we're really struggling with how you do this. And the people that are suing even admitted, they said, yeah, it's going to be a disaster, total nightmare, not our problem.
Well,
you got to enforce the law.
Donald Trump just yesterday, he was saying that if the Supreme Court takes down his tariffs, it's going to be the American people who are going to have to pay back trillions.
It could be several weeks. Are you going to lay out any new additional tariffs before?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to hope that we win. I can't imagine that anybody would do that kind of devastation to our country. We'd have to pay back trillions of dollars. We've taken in trillions. We haven't taken in billions. We've taken in trillions of dollars. We've made trade deals based on that give us, as an example, European Union, $950 billion. Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. Without this, we're not talking about that kind of money. And they're okay. They're satisfied. They love us. I just left. They all love us. So it's not like we're such bad people. But they were doing it to us until I came along.
Okay. It's not about whether anybody likes it. It's not about whether it's good. It's about whether it's legal or not. And you have invoked a statute that is centered around emergencies that there was not an emergency. You could make a compelling case probably on the Mexico and the Canada because of the fentanyl stuff. I think a reasonable person might buy that. But when you're doing all these countries that are allies of us, and like, there's no emergency, and we just got to accept going forward. Like, there are some people who don't want to admit we live in a world economy now. That ship has sailed.
Oh, yeah.
We stopped making stuff and doing stuff here a long time ago. And it's one thing to have a goal to bring that back over the long term, but you're not just going to just punish it. So, and by the way, what happened to all this money that's coming in?
Right.
I thought we were supposed to get money back. Have you gotten any money back?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. I thought we were supposed to be paying down the debt. Has any debt been? Let's see what the debt is right now.
Yeah, what are they doing with that money?
U.S. debt. Okay, it's saved right there. Very good. The debt is currently at $38,164,449,000,000. So no, they're not paying down any debt. So where'd the money go?
Right. What is that money going to?
Right. The answer is what they're doing is they're in the legalized vote buying game. They're giving it away to people during this government shutdown to try to make you think, or at least that's what they propose they want to do. Remember, originally they proposed to give it back to us. But if you haven't spent it, then you should just be able to give it back and no big deal. Unless you've spent it, and then you don't have it.
Right. Well, Trump says that the tariffs equal national security.
Look, I'm ending war because of these tariffs. Americans would have to fight in some of these wars. They're gaining in national security. They're gaining in economics. They're gaining in so many different ways. And they're gaining in self-respect for our own country. Other countries used to laugh at us. They would charge us tariffs. Japan was charging us massive tariffs, and yet they wouldn't allow our cars to be sold in Japan. But they were selling 9 million cars here, but they wouldn't allow one car. Not one car was sold in Japan. They don't laugh at us anymore. This is really a matter of, this is national security. And by the way, going bankrupt is national security. You know, our country was really in trouble. Going bankrupt.
Stop. I'm going to blow a gasket if we don't stop that. That infuriates me, Casey. This guy has racked up, at this point, what he did the first term, what he's doing now, we're well over $10 trillion in his presidencies alone. And he has the audacity to talk about being concerned about going bankrupt?
Well, it's either that or if we don't have the tariffs, sons and daughters are going to have to go to war.
Which country was that in, Mr. President?
Yeah.
What country were we going to be invading if we don't have the tariffs?
Tariff money?
And it's not whether it's right or it's wrong. It's whether it's legal. If these tariffs are so great, then there's a process by which you're supposed to go through and get approval on that. And then the onus becomes on the United States Congress, which is where the authority should lie, to approve those things. Most of these things are clearly not emergencies. They never should have been done this way. He got called out on it. He's probably going to lose. And instead of looking in the mirror and going, yeah, I screwed up on that. We shouldn't have done it this way. Maybe this isn't working. He just starts throwing everything out. We could go bankrupt. So the 12, 13, 14, whatever number right now, trillion you added, that's not going to bankrupt us. It's the tariff deal that's going to get out of here. That is so insulting. And everyone should just be outraged that he said that.
75% of Americans are more stressed about the country's future than before. And you've got 2/3 of young Americans have considered moving abroad. I don't know where they're planning on moving to.
Where's it going to be better?
Right.
What country do you look at and go, they really got it. They really got a firm grasp on what's going on.
Exactly. So some of the top stressors for people. Economy, number one, 75%. Money, 66%, and then politics, housing, and crime at 65%.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, he's back. A friend of the show. He's back for his 4th consecutive year. He does this every year, and it is such a big event. Recording legend Billy Dean is going to be with us. He's coming back to Central Indiana for his Christmas show. You and I have been a part of several of these. They're awesome. We're going to talk about the state of the recording industry, songwriting, and this big event coming up with the legendary Billy Dean.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The Secret Service announced that they have dismantled basically an electronic spying ring, 300 SIM servers, and 100,000 SIM cards. This network that was broken up would have the ability to text everybody in the United States within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, no arrests concerns me, but the fact that they caught it is awesome.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LEAD25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LEAD25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LEAD25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Transform your bath and double the value. It's B Windows Black Friday Bath Sale. Buy one bath, get one free. Plus no interest and no payments for 24 months. Call now or visit bwindow.com.
I miss Billy the Kid, the times that he had, the life that he lived.
Casey, I wonder what it's like to get invited back places.
Really? Never happened to you before? They invite you once and then regret sinks in?
They get the experience once and say, "You're out of here, buddy."
Mm-hmm.
But one guy that keeps getting invited back to Central Indiana every year for a great Christmas program is our old pal, friend of the show, legendary recording artist, Billy Dean.
Yes, he'll be back again, huh?
Also known as your celebrity boyfriend.
That's true. That's true. It's been a long time crush. He's aware of it, by the way, so it won't make him uncomfortable anymore.
Well, we're going to ask him about it here momentarily.
Okay.
But before we do, Billy Dean coming back again November 30th this year, 7 p.m. at the Royal Theater in Danville. This is always such a great event. I'm going to be a part of it again this year as well. We'll get to those details in just a second, but let's welcome legendary recording artist Billy Dean on the WIBC hotline. Billy, hello.
Hey, guys, it's such an honor to be invited back up there, man. It's for such a great cause, and as you know, Rob, man, we've raised a few dollars with a couple of special items that we bring. I usually autograph not just autograph a guitar. We usually take, and I've only done it just half a dozen times, where I'll write the lyric of a song like "Let Them Be Little" or "Billy the Kid" or "Somewhere in My Broken Heart." I'll write the whole chorus on the guitar, and I've only done that just a handful of times, to keep it kind of valuable. And we raise a little money for the area there, the Shop with a Cop, and the different programs they have. And first of all, I can't believe they invited me back year after year. If they only knew how smelly my socks were sometimes when I take these boots off, man.
Yeah, this is your fourth year coming back to Danville. Like you said, all the money goes to charities in the greater Danville area. So I'm curious, at this stage of your career, when you decide you're going to go places, because you live down there in Florida, when you decide I'm going to come to Indiana and do this event, what's the scheduling process like for you?
Well, first of all, my buddy Alan Kiger has been in my court, man. He's helped me and played my records for years and years as a DJ, and I just, man, I'm at that stage of my career now where it's time to say thank you and pay back and pay it forward. We're coming up on 35 years of my first release, my first album, and we're getting busy again. And so I just moved to Florida thinking that this, hey, it's time to sunset the career, maybe slow down a little bit. And then all of a sudden the 90s come roaring back. And in fact, I just did I did the rhyming the last couple of nights with Ernest. He's a kid I've known since he was in, he went to elementary school with my son. He's written now 11 number ones, a lot of them mostly for Morgan Wallen, and he's called me and saying, "Hey man, will you come up to Nashville and do a couple of nights at the Ryman with me?" I said, yeah, I will. And then we had Danville coming up, and we had a couple other things. Anyway, it totaled to be 3 weeks away from the island there in Florida, and I told my wife, I said, well, hang on, man, because here it comes again. But the only thing is I'm not 30 anymore, but but I love it.
Hey, Billy, you mentioned the guitar that you normally autograph and put a verse to a song on. I'm curious, have you picked the song for this year?
I'm thinking that You Don't Count the Cost might be a good one, and it's a toss-up between. I don't think I've done Only Here for a Little While, and I think this year I'm gonna hold Who Needs Holding, Mend What Needs Mending, Walk What Needs Walking, though it means an extra mile, say what needs saying, pray what needs praying. We're only here for a little while. I just think that message. I think we need that message hanging on a wall somewhere to walk by and look at it, because I just think 35 years ago that was the first song we released, and our country had just went into Desert Storm, and it was a lyric that people started gravitating towards and to, and I just think it's needed again 35 years later. I feel like our country kind of needs those words again, to kind of help bring people together with music. So I think that might be the one I'm going to do. We're re-releasing a brand new version of it, which is one that they said, my team said, can you reimagine some of your old hits? I was like, what does that even mean? I've sang them the same way for 35 years. Reimagine. But it's interesting because I just printed the lyric of Only Here for a Little While. I printed it out, and I was just staring at it, and I just happened to have my guitar in my lap, and as I'm reading it, I'm just kind of subconsciously noodling with the guitar, and I realized, man, this lyric hits me a lot different than it did when I was, 28, 29 years old when I sang it. It has deeper meanings for me now, and so it just kind of flowed through my fingers, a few little different chord changes, slowed it down a little bit, and so I hope people like it. It's hard to mess with songs that have been classics, or I'm not saying that's a classic, but I'm just saying it's hard to mess with something that's worked before. But I really think people will see this and hear this almost as a new song.
Billy Dean is our guest, legendary recording artist. He's going to be in Danville. 4th year he's done this, backed by popular demand. November 30th, 7 p.m. at the Royal Theater in Danville. Tickets available this year at the North Salem State Bank in the Danville branch, or from a Danville Rotary member. So, Billy, I'm curious. One of the things you do every year that I love, I'm a gigantic Dan Fogelberg fan.
Yeah.
And every year Billy does Leader of the Band as part of his show. Please make sure that is part of the repertoire
Put
again
that
this
on
year.
the list.
But I'm curious, the Fogelberg, the Springsteen movie came out. You're a phenomenal songwriter. Like, how do you put together a great song? Like, when you're writing a song, you're like, oh, that's going to be awesome. Or do you get done with the song and go, that stinks? Like, how do you put together a great song?
Right away?
Yeah.
You kind of know right away. You write through the bad ones, and then the good ones come kind of roaring to become obvious. So I had a great example. A buddy of mine had his daughter had twins. He had another grandson that was a little older. He said, "Hey, Billy, we're going to get to keep our grandson all week long. While the twins, and Molly are in the hospital, and so." I was so happy for him, and I said, well, man, when that week is up, buddy, and you have to put that little booger back in the car and send him back to Mom, I said, you're going to need a handkerchief. And it hit me so hard that young guys, don't have handkerchiefs. It's like you got to live a little bit. All of a sudden, this idea of this handkerchief being a metaphor for a life well lived, it hit me so hard. And, of course, he's one of my best friends, but I was trying to hear his story. But when I said that, I said, hey, man, I got to go. I got a song idea.
It's so, like when you're on stage, like Casey and I say this all the time, we're just stealing money from our employer. Like, we get paid to come in here and talk each day. Do you ever think about out of your career, you're like, I'm just having fun up here. I'm stealing money from everybody.
Totally, man. I'll be on stage singing, just loving it and going, you're not getting paid for this night right here. You're getting paid for the canceled flight that you had on the way up here. It's like Fogelberg said, the audience is heavenly, but the traveling was hell,
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so that's why you get paid for being away from your loved ones and traveling. But, man, it makes it all worthwhile when you're standing up there and people really are receiving, what you're singing about. And you mentioned the Fogelberg thing. I even added this, Rob. In the middle of Fire in the Dark a couple of months ago, I was like, man, these are the same kind of chord changes for In the Cool of the Evening when everything is getting kind. So I put Spooky with Fire in the Dark, and I put Old Black Water with Billy the Kid. I'll kind of, Old Black Water, keep on rolling. Some of these old classic rock songs that I grew up with, and I realized these songs were the reason that I wrote songs like Billy the Kid, or that I chose songs like Only the Wind. They came from like we always say, the 90s was the 60s turned upside down. It really was.
Billy, I'm curious, as Rob mentioned, this is the 4th time they've invited you back for this event. What motivates you to keep coming back?
Well, man, a little bit has to do with that Mayberry Cafe up there that they got.
Yeah.
You get a home cooked meal, man. You get real green beans and not out of a can, and real mashed potatoes not out of a box. I love that.
And the other thing I love, Casey, is Billy, when he comes, he doesn't just like jet in and jet out. This is not some U2 affair. Billy was like pounding brews at the local pub.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was great. Billy, we love it, man. November the 30th is the date, 7 p.m., Royal Theater in Danville. It's a great, intimate show. People love it when they go. You can get tickets right now at the North Salem State Bank in Danville, the Danville branch, or the Danville Rotary member. Man, I'm excited to see you, man. I love the show, and we'll look forward to seeing you on November the 30th.
Man, thank you, guys. You're the best thing that's happened to that community. Thanks for supporting this, and that just shows your heart, and we love you for it.
Thank you, Billy. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. Well, it's that time again. The Christmas season is officially underway, and we're kicking it off in style. Join us this Friday through Sunday for our holiday open house at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. We've turned the stores into a Christmas wonderland filled with unique gift ideas, festive decor, and one-of-a-kind ornaments you won't find anywhere else. Pick up your open house coupons for extra savings up to 25% off select items. You'll also find Indiana's largest selection of pre-lit Christmas trees from 2-foot to 14-foot tall, and every one of them is up and glowing at our Keystone and Allisonville stores. And right now, take an extra 10% off all artificial trees, already priced 30% off. The best prices of the season. So come on in, get inspired, and kick off your holidays with us at Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-929. That's 317-660-929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Wells Financial at 317-660-929. That's 660-929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wealth Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The reasoning behind the lawsuit. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is filing a lawsuit against Indianapolis Public Schools, saying they blocked federal immigration enforcement from taking a student out of school who belonged to an illegal immigrant wanting to self-deport.
You know, we warned IPS to stop these sanctuary policies or face the consequences in court. They didn't listen.
Rokita claims the school district has policies in place that go against the state's anti-sanctuary law. A shooting late Thursday night is under investigation on the east side of Indianapolis. A woman was shot in her car near 10th in Michigan. She then crashed her car and later died at a hospital. IMPD is talking with witnesses. Colder air is on the way this weekend with the first snowflakes of the season also possible by Sunday. And make note of road closures on Saturday around Indianapolis for the Monumental Marathon. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
Remember lining up before dawn on Black Friday? Those days might be gone, but the excitement isn't. Great Lakes Honda Fishers is keeping Black Friday alive all month long. This week only, lease a 2025 Accord SE for $299 a month with zero down and register to win a $500 Visa gift card. Visit Great Lakes Honda Fishers off State Road 37 or at GreatLakesHondaFishers.com, where every day is Black Friday. Tax not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. $10K a year. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends November 9th. See dealer for details.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Hey guys, you know, it's Friday. That means Sunday is right around the corner. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or first church home, check out Life Church. They've got campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, they've got great online services so you can check it all out for yourself without ever leaving the comfort of your own couch. They would love the opportunity at Life Church, whether it's Eagle Creek, Noblesville, Fishers, or Pendleton, to meet and welcome you and your family. Check them out on the web, lifechurchin.com.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Oh, hey.
Yeah?
It's Steve Perry, everybody.
Yeah?
Better known as the guy who wrote and sang most of the songs in Journey.
Yeah. So Journey has announced their farewell tour.
Oh, they're on one now, too.
Yeah. Kicks off February 28th in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
They're going to be in Indianapolis March 17th. Is that the date? March 17th, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Gamebridge.
So you know how I feel about these bands.
Mhm.
Now, you're the music radio expert. So I'm going to let you either say, Rob, you're totally validated in your belief system, or you are totally off in your belief system.
Okay.
Either way is fine. We can either just agree and move on, or we can have a spirited debate.
Okay.
If the guy who wrote and sang, now this is true with the Foreigner, it's certainly true with Styx.
Yeah.
REO Speedwagon, now that Kevin Cronin is not there, and Journey. Like, I feel like those are the four big ones that in the 70s and 80s were just these juggernaut, larger-than-life bands. If the guy who wrote and sang, and so in this case it's Steve Perry, most of the songs, like every one on Journey's greatest hits, all but two of the songs, Steve Perry has a writing credit, and I think all of them, except for maybe one of them, he's the vocalist on.
Does he have singular writing credit,
No,
or is it he's just one of the many?
It's Neil Schon, and that Jonathan Cain dude who's still in the band.
Okay.
So by the way, Journey only has one original guy. It's the Neil Schon, the guitar player.
Jonathan Cain's not there either?
Well, he's there, but he's not an original. Now, I will give you credit for him because he was there at the height of Journey, the 80s. He joined in the early 80s, so we'll count him, right?
Okay.
So you got two dudes of what at the height was Journey.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a real problem when the guy who wrote and sang the majority or all of the songs is not in the band anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's just not the same. It's like the,
And it's not a thing like where okay, Queen, Freddie Mercury dies, right? And then 15 years later they come back and they're like, well, obviously he ain't performing. Let's get an equal replacement. They brought Paul Rogers in from Bad Company, and you're like, Paul Rogers is freaking awesome. Nobody's going to be Freddie Mercury, but this guy's pretty darn close. Right? I accept your offer because this guy cannot perform. It's just, whatever, all these guys, it's some different thing. It's usually you can't get along and some guy hijacks a band or something. But am I wrong? Am I just an old man who yells at clouds, or do I have a case here?
I think you have a case here, but I think that there's many people like, hey, this is your last chance to ever see Journey in any...
To see Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain?
Right. It's your last chance to see those two guys in any sort of combination of Journey on stage.
I mean, I've been hung up on this for years. I really got hung up on this when I was overnights. Casey, most people know, Casey and I, once upon a time, though we did not work together, we worked for the same guy at one point.
Yeah.
That was my first real full-time job. And he did. He liked you much better than he liked me. Yeah. Did you ever get a hotline call at 3 a.m.?
No.
No, yeah. But anyway, when I just sit there in my own stew, at 2:30 in the morning with nothing else to do, and I would ponder things like this, and I would see these songs come up, and these bands have been doing this for so long now. I was like, that just doesn't seem right.
It's not the band.
Without the guy who wrote and sang most of the songs,
the front man. So I think Journey did they kind of go off the rails when they had, what was his name, Steve Cherry, who filled in for Steve Perry. They hired some sound alike.
I thought Arnel Pinata guy or whatever his name is had been there. Was the guy who took the
No, I
place.
think that there was somebody else in between Steve Perry.
Oh, they've been doing this for a while now.
Right when Steve Perry left, they had some other guy.
Because that Arnel Pinata, whatever is potato.
He's been there for a while.
Let's call the whole thing off,
Yeah.
right? But he was a somewhat. I mean, it's not like we're bringing in Paul Rogers, right? But he was a kind of a known quantity. Because didn't Van Halen do this too? After Roth and then Hager left, they brought some other dude in, and it was a disaster. But they were still running around as Van Halen, and they were like, that's not going to work. We got to bring one of these guys back. Kev, you're the musician here. You tell me. Am I off base on this?
Well, I think Arnel Pineda was just a super fan, and he's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And just came from humble beginnings, and somehow...
I thought he was like some sort of accomplished singer, though. Is that not true? Did I imagine that? They just pulled him out of a win a Sing for Journey contest?
Well, yeah, he might have won some kind of contest, but I don't know. I thought he just they saw one of his videos that he uploaded.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Neil Schon began searching YouTube for a new lead vocalist.
Are you kidding me?
No.
They're like, that guy's pretty good. Where's he at? Well, he's in the Philippines, sir. Get him.
Let's hire that guy and bring him on tour. Yeah, yeah.
He's extremely talented, I will say that.
Well, that's fine, but I would like to think that Journey could have done something to carry on the legacy of Steve Perry. Not that he's no longer with us. I think he's still very much with us. With some guy other than a fan winning a contest.
That's what they should do. If this is really the farewell tour,
yes,
they should bring Steve Perry back if he would do it. You know, if nothing else, at the end of every show, come out, do one song.
The end of every show? He was the show.
Do faithfully. I know, but I mean, he left the band. So
hey, we're gonna have this fan do the whole concert, then the guy that you remember seeing in the heyday. We're gonna bring
the one guy that you really, the reason you loved us because of his vocals. He'll sing one song. So yeah, I mean, Journey, so much success. They sold so many records, like over 100 million globally.
Yeah, because Steve Perry's really good, Casey.
At a time when you actually had to spend your money to buy the cassette or the album. I used to have, which one was Stone in Love on? Not Infinity. I can't remember which was Stone in Love on Infinity.
I just had this up. Let's see here. I just literally had this up because we were talking about great Journey songs. Hang on here, because they have so many. What is this? Escape?
Oh yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Escape. So I used to buy albums.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Rob.
Back in the 50s, that's how we did it in the 50s.
Buying albums, and I took the album and hung it up in my locker.
Because, like I said, I mean, with Styx, okay. What are the songs you think of with Styx? Babe, Lady, Best of Times, Come Sail Away. They're all Dynasty Young songs. I'm not disputing that Tommy Shaw had and James Young had some songs that were reasonably, Blue Collar Man, Too Much Time on My Hands. Those obviously have been played for years on radio. I get that. But then you can't, in the case of Styx, they've been horribly rotten to Dynasty Young, and then play all those songs with some of their guys singing if you're going to be rotten to the guy. And say, it didn't matter that he's not here anymore. Then don't play the songs. You know how well that concert go over if it was just Too Much Time on My Hands and Man in the Wilderness? Everybody'd walk out.
I think Journey's got more hits, though, than Styx did. No. Yeah, I think so.
Remember in the Big Daddy movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Where he teaches the kid asks him like what he learned or something, and he goes, Styx is one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Most critics are just cynical a-holes. That's right. Dynasty Young is a saint, Casey. A saint.
Don't Stop Believing, Faithfully, Separate Ways, Wheel in the Sky, Who's Crying Now, Any Way You Want It, That's the Way You Need It.
I would put the Mount Rushmore
Lights.
of Styx up against Journey any day. Like, what do you say are the top 4
Only
Journey
the
songs?
Young, Stone in Love,
what are you picking as the top 4?
Touching, Loving, Squeezing, Feeling That Way, Send Her My Love. I mean, I'm on the 13, and these are all major hits.
But I just said I would put the Mount Rushmore of Styx up against the Mount Rushmore of Journey any day. What are you going with? What are your top 4 Journey songs?
Top 4, Don't Stop Believing, Faithfully, Open Arms, and then that 4th one you could probably, there's plenty to choose from. I mean, I've got my personal favorite.
Well, there are lots of presidents to pick from, and they picked a guy. They picked Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Any Way You Want It.
Okay.
That's my 4th.
I would say Come Sail Away, Babe, Best of Times, Lady.
Isn't it interesting that these are rock bands, arena rock bands that we're talking about, and we both said their top 4 songs are these rock ballads.
Yeah, because
songs.
Most people are lazy and they don't want to listen to the lyrics. And the lyrics are where it's at, Casey. Don't be a lazy musical consumer.
I won't. All right, up next.
You're going, aren't you? You're going to go.
To go see Journey?
Yeah.
I've seen him. I saw him on a military base.
Real Journey or pretend Journey?
It was pretend Journey. It was still good, though, because you knew all the songs and all the words.
Oh, yeah, this thing will sell out. People love it. Good for them. We're just having fun.
Speed Dome. That's the thing.
Yes. We're gonna talk all about an Indiana institution you may have heard of but not know a lot about when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, if Democrats want this shutdown, let them come to their senses. It's time for a tougher response. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Hey, guys, it's Rob. You know, it's Friday. Sunday's right around the corner. 2 days. You can do it. You went to public school, right? 1, 2, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or even a first church home, check out the place we call home Life Church. Yeah, campuses in Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, they've got great online services. They'd love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. Learn more about everything on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair. Your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Remember lining up before dawn on Black Friday? Those days might be gone, but the excitement isn't. Great Lakes Honda Fishers is keeping Black Friday alive all month long. This week only, lease a 2025 Accord SE for $299 a month with zero down and register to win a $500 Visa gift card. Visit Great Lakes Honda Fishers off State Road 37 or at GreatLakesHondaFishers.com, where every day is Black Friday. Tax not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. $10K a year. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends November 9th. See dealer for details.
Sundown Gardens is continuing their big fall sale. Come shop the nursery to save now to add trees and shrubs to your landscape. Whether you're adding shade, color, or curb appeal, fall planting helps trees and shrubs root in for the winter, and they'll thrive next spring. The best part? All nursery items are now 30 to 50% off. That's 30 to 50% off. Shop now and save at Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Join the Indianapolis Urban League Monday, November 18th at St. Philip's Church for a drive-through food box and meal distribution. Stay in your car and receive fresh produce, meat, dairy, and pantry staples. No ID required while supplies last. Volunteers are needed to help make this event a success.
Tonight, the strip's just right. I wanna blow 'em all out of their seats.
Casey, there's an institution in the city of Indianapolis. A lot of people probably heard the name of it, but maybe they don't know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those people, so please start explaining.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the great thing about our city is there's so many super cool things that sort of become a part of the lexicon, and yet many people have never had an experience with it. And that's our next segment because we're going to learn about it. And there's a big event going on there this weekend.
Sounds good.
Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. It's the Speedrome. Been around for, get this, Casey, since 1941. The Indianapolis Speedrome has been entertaining race fans not just across central Indiana, but across the Midwest. And they got a big event coming up on Saturday. So let's learn about it. One of the great advocates and fans of the Speedrome joins us now. Josh Malsack is his name. Josh, hello.
Rob, how are you, my man?
Doing great. So tell us about the Speedrome, because I have heard about this place for years, and it's been there since 1941, and people are still flooding in there. What is the Speedrome?
Well, let me tell you something. The Speedrome is a 1/5 paved paved oval and figure eight on the east side of Indy at 52 in Kitley. And it's been there, like you said, for like 80 years, for over 80 years. In fact, 85 all going on in 2026. And it's contested. But apparently the sport of figure eight racing was created at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Now, I know there are some people in other states like New York that might say, no, it wasn't. It was created here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Indianapolis Speedrome. You know, Indianapolis is a city built on the backs of bricks and sweet mother speed, but it's not just home to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's also home, as you know, to the Indianapolis Speedrome.
Okay, so let's talk about figure eight racing for a second, because obviously we're the racing capital of the world, Casey. Everybody thinks about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tell us about figure eight racing, because this is fascinating.
For sure, yeah. So when a lot of people think of figure eight racing, they think of a bunch of hillbillies going out and getting cars and wrecking them. Wrong. These are purpose-built race cars. Some of these cars cost anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 to $75,000, and they race them in a figure eight race. And they have several across the season. They have about 20 during the season, and they have a major one in September towards the end of the season called the 3-hour figure eight, and that's 3 hours of outlaw figure eight racing at the Indianapolis Speedrome.
Josh Malsack is our guest. He's here talking about the Indianapolis Speedrome. They got a big event coming up on Saturday, which we're going to get to. But like thousands of people every year flood into this Speedrome, right, Josh? Like this is a major economic driver for the city of Indianapolis.
I mean, it's got to be, man. It's a beautiful, wonderful facility. The owners are fantastic. The management is great. You know, it's one of those things that sometimes often goes overlooked. People are like, oh, let's go to a Pacers game. Let's go to a Colts game. Let's go to an Indians game at Victory Field. When really, in fact, for like 1/3 the cost of going to a Colts game, you can go to the Indianapolis Speedrome, pay for your ticket, and then you can get your family in for another $30 or $40. You know, you can't have that kind of fun for less than $15. You know what I mean?
Josh, I'm curious, how fast do these cars go?
It varies. It depends. Sometimes they can go anywhere from about 70 miles an hour. It doesn't seem very fast when you see it, but when you're on a fifth mile and the outlaw cars are crossing in front of each other, it's very. Sometimes it can be puckering, as they say. So I don't know if we can use that word on the radio.
You can use puckering. Yes, it's one of the words you can use.
Let's just say that you might need a spatula to get off your seat sometimes. You know what I mean? So not only do they have outlaws, they also have other classes. Like they race Crown Victorias, they race 4-cylinder cars, they race go-karts, they race these things called modifieds. They're so cool, man. It's a beautiful, wonderful facility.
Josh Malsack is our guest, and I love this segment because this is what the Speedrome is all about. This dude isn't getting paid to do this interview.
Yeah.
He's not an employee. He's just some guy who loves the Speedrome and what it does.
An advocate.
Yeah, that's why we called him an advocate. So that's real quick, Josh, before we talk about the big event. That's what the Speedrome really is. It's people who love racing, like these people who are racing. It is some people who want to be professional racers, but it's also these weekend warrior type people. It's people who truly have a love of the sport.
Yeah, and dare I say it, it's real money racing. You know, yeah, you've got your massive sponsors in Indy and NASCAR, but when you really think about it, the real money is the people who are trying to say, well, do I want to have steak for dinner or eat a bologna sandwich and put those new brakes or work on that new motor for my vehicle? You know what I mean? It's not just, oh yeah, here's $1 million for a new car. It's people actually using their real hard-earned money to go out there and put on a show, not only for the fans, but also for their friends and their family as well, you know?
Josh, tell us about the event that you have coming up this weekend.
For sure, yeah. On Saturday, November 8th, that's tomorrow, for those of you who don't know. It starts at 2:30 p.m. The first flag will fly at 2:30 p.m. There's all kinds of fun stuff going on. They've got a bus figure eight. They're doing bus rides. They're doing a trailer race and a figure eight, a grocery getter event, and a powder puff van and SUV race. Now, the grocery getter event is basically you go out, you get a car, you just knock out all the glass, so that's like the windows, except for the front windshield, and then the lights and everything. And then you can race on an oval. On top of that, we're doing something called the Kevin Pringle Memorial 15-lap figure eight. It's adults on Power Wheels. Okay, like remember those little cars the kids have where you put the little battery in there and you go. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Listen, here's the deal. It's 15 laps, and when my buddy Dave Hollinsworth came to me and said, Josh, I want to put on this event for my brother. Can you help me? And I'm like, dude, yes. A million times yes. You're a great friend. I know that your brother was well known in our community. He was one of those kind of guys that would help people. He would help them whenever they needed it. It didn't matter who they were. He wasn't worried about, being popular or anything like that, or siding with one side or another. He would help out with anyone in the pits, and that's a big deal. And you see that a lot with short track racing, where someone will need something and they won't, and then they'll reach out and someone will be like, yeah, I got that. Let me help you out. That's what you see most of the time in short track racing. Sometimes they can go a little sideways. Excuse me.
Wait, but real quick, Josh. Well, tell us about the Power Wheels. Like, this race fascinates me. We're going to see adults on Power Wheels?
Yes, that's right. You're going to see adults on Power Wheels. It's going to be 15 laps. It's short because the battery lifespan doesn't last that long. It was going to be like a 15 lap on the full course. So they're going to go short. Excuse me. They're going to go short on the course instead of the long one, because we were worried that people would run out of battery life. But yes, it's adults on Power Wheels on November 8th, 2:30 p.m. at the Speedrome. And it's $10 for people to get in as adults, $5 for kids, and if they're 6 or 5 and under, they are free.
What a deal! Tomorrow afternoon, the Indianapolis Speedrome, east side of Indianapolis. Josh, this is awesome. Thanks for telling us about the Speedrome and your big event tomorrow.
Hey man, thank you so much. Listen, if you mention that you heard me here on the Kendall and Casey show, I want you to know that you're going to get a free high five.
Perfect.
Excellent.
And a smile. I love it. Josh and Rob, that's going to do it for us today, all right? Thank you, and thank you, Kevin.